With a gruesome battle of the upper brackets, ladies and gentlemen, we now fall down onto the lower one way. It's a do or die for two of the teams in front of us. Welcome, you all are watching the Zutsu Esports presents Indian Championship Series with our tech partner as AOC Gaming, and it's powered by Vista Games. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got me scared yet, and alongside me, we've got the handsome dude sitting on my left, or rather, it's on my right, whichever way you think is right. It's gonna be Kronos. My man, how are you doing and how you been? It's been pretty long since we're back here.
I agree. I'm good. I'm feeling great. But you know what? I was just wondering, are you one of those that says left and then wants to go right and then says right and then wants to go left when you're riding? This guy rides a scooter, right? So when he's riding the scooter, he puts on the right indicator and then he turns left. So just to know, just to be sure, scared, RNTX versus Zutsu Esports is the game that we're going to go with today. And RNTX is the team that's below me right now, while you got Zutsu Esports on your side, yeah? Instead of left and right, so you don't
Absolutely.
get confused.
You know what? That's really good. If only my passenger gave me the similar types of directions too, maybe we would have reached our destination sooner. But I really hope that these teams don't get distracted and lost in the way, right? Because they've already made a wrong turn, which has brought them down into this lower bracket right now. And as you said, it's a do or die, a best of five series out here. And right off the bat, we get we get to say bye bye to Carry.
A nice pivot, huh? Nice pivot. But then, yes, you're right. In the lower bracket where there are no second chances, get to see some bands that are quite rightly so in the meta in terms of Jushin as well as the Baxia. The carry is a really hard lockdown onto the lineup of Zutsu. Maybe they're expecting not to go to the late game. They'll probably want to go something quite early. It's nice to see what RNTX will have in store. This team has been grinding for quite a lot now. They do have two different imports as well. At least there's Cram God that's being shown. He is from the Philippines. I follow his journey for a while. He's great in the roam position. He has played in multiple countries. And of course, they've got a new coach that's coming to their lineup, a new jungler at the same time. I think this will be giving them a little more room to play around with versus an all-Indian lineup from Zutsu Esports. And for the rest of the band, scared, Claude, rightly so, gone off the table. Kalea, negating any sort of pickoffs.
We've got a Freya available right now, and again, one of the priority picks of E, which we know which likes to play. He's also got some of his own comfort pocket picks as well, right? Like the Novarias, we know he likes to pick those heroes when his hero pool is being targeted. So I think so, yes, with the addition of a few new imports, it's added an entirely new playstyle and an idea to the side of IQ RNTX, which definitely will bring a little bit more depth apart from just that Eve or the Novaria picks out. So I kind of like it. But Zutsu, what are you going to prioritize out here? Since the Cloud was banned out, there's also the Freya available right now. And we know that she sometimes do get contested. We've seen even in some other finals, teams like IQ SATUL and Godlike Esports also prioritizing that for that goal lane. But it's going to be the Dragon taken out. No chances taken in the EXP.
Yeah, I think just taking out any sort of initiators. You got two initiators off the table, a frontline tank that will be a problem in the jungle in the roam position, quite flexible. Then you have that mage is just forever sitting in the ban section, doesn't belong in the game. The developers might as well delete that hero because you're never going to see that in esports at the moment. And then you got not a lot of options open. The first one, I would say Isun Shin, the most flexible right now in the current meta, can be flexed into the gold lane, in the jungle. Ideally better in the jungle, but still there are players who rather have the ability to get that vision with that Mount Shocker and have them in the gold lane. So you have a double scaling lineup. Instead of having a double fighter, you have a double scaling lineup on the side of RNTX. So let's see how it goes. Zutsu maybe looking for Gatotkacha probably, and Eve even. Maybe something to be in their face of the opposition. The Freya, the Grok. Absolute monsters being picked up on the red side. And isn't there a blue side curse going on, Scared?
I think so, man. We've been seeing that blue side curse for a long time now. You're in one of the previous tournaments in which I went. I clearly saw that. All the games that were won, it went to that game 7. Every single time, the red side team was the one who actually won things out. And I don't know. At this point, I just feel that the meta is so diverse that it's better to be on that red side, let that one pick go so that you can take up 2 power picks while also countering that first pick on the other side, which I very well think the Grok and the Freya super dive actually does. But here we go. You were talking about the double scaling. We've got the Kimmy picked up as well, and into the jungle we will have that Leo mod. So the Eastern Shin going into that goal lane, but I don't know, man. I think so. RNTX actually are showing their cards pretty soon here.
Hey, it's all right. It's okay to show your cards early because the other side, I've already shown their gold lane, their roamer, and now their jungler as well with that Guinevere. I like the Guinevere because you can dive to the back line. It kind of gives a problem to the Leomord, especially when he's trying to pull out that Phantom Steed. So that spatial migration prevents any sort of stationary mage, but then already they picked up the Kimmy. So it's going to be a sort of a false engage with that spatial migration. Use the second part of that skill to run away, and then you have that tech charge to go in. So I think they're building into towards something nice. It will be great to see how they'll rock this Eastern Shin in the goal lane, though, because Freya versus Eastern Shin in the early game, we all know Eastern Shin's kind of useless, right? He just got that heavenly bow. They can poke from afar. But the matter of the fact is, when it comes to try and trade for certain objectives, that gold crab, which is still an objective if you're a part of the goal lane, that's going to be crucial. But the next few bans scared. High-lows to prevent that horse composition and a Farsa to prevent some high ground.
Yeah, I like that ban on the high loss because it kind of counteracts the dive by rest of the members by slowing it down. I kind of wanted to see a Lunox ban here because considering the composition Zutsu are actually going forward with, I don't think so they'd need something with the front to back like the Farsa or even the Zatian. I think so they need something that will dive along with the Grog, that can follow him up very quickly along with the Freya as well and with the Guinevere. And I think so the Lunox fits the bill pretty well. You've got the scaling for the late game too, burst down the tanks, and I don't think so which will be feeling very comfortable on that Kimi if in case he gets hit by the Brilliance combination.
I agree with the Lunox. I like the Lunox a little bit more here just because of the fact that you can prevent something from happening, but that Gatotkacha being taken off the table, the Zetian being taken off the table. I think Zetian's a hero that Viol has been playing quite a lot that we've been seeing in the tournaments from at least from the lineup of Zutsu, but they go for a Lapu Lapu. Yeah. So adding a bit more dive factor to what they have in store. Now, RNTX, they already have a bit of kiting with this Kimi available, and they're going head-to-head in terms of dive with the help of this Leomord. Are they going to double down on that factor? That's a big question. In the roam position, what else is available, though? You need some sort of massive AoE skill. Maybe you can go for the Hilda instead, but then again, is the Hilda going to be enough? You're lacking a lot of crowd control. Bring in the Khalid, add the Phoveus. Ooh. This is looking a bit spicy. A lot of AoE roam potential with this Khalid early poke. Add the damage from the Kimmy. Yeah, they're looking to snowball hard.
I do like the idea as well for Ico and TX because here's the thing. Yes, you've got the AoE with the Khalid. Phoveus is just going to bonk on top of everyone and it's a straightforward counter to the Freya on the other side. I kind of wanted a little bit more leaning in towards that Minotaur, right? Because you would be able to protect Mirio a little bit more along with Aaron while they're trying to kite around. Zutsu is going to lock in the Lunox. I love that draft. Full on all 5 people will head on dive in this comp. And I think so the big part of this, you could say, responsibility is now going to fall into the hands of that Guinevere to bait out the Purify of Witch on the other side first, so that you can then go in and engage with the Grok and then hop in towards the backline with Lapu Lapu as well as the Freya. What are your thoughts for this one?
It could be the other way around, Scared. It could be the tech charge, and then you go with the Landshaker, Bravest Fighter combo. You could go with the spatial migration later on as well. They've got multiple tools to engage, and then they have the finish coming in from this mid lane from the Lunox for Zutsu. But on the other side, for RNTX, they want to snowball. They want to make sure this Kimi gets those Sky Piercer stacks rolling as quickly as possible. The level 4 power spikes is what they're going to be looking at the same time. With that turtle, they could split push with the help of the Mountain Shocker. So overall, it looks like a solid lineup, but what I'll be looking forward to most is that first few seconds. The first minute is the Khalid. Is Kramgod going to be able to poke out the opposition? Because get ready to go. It's game number 1.
We are ready to rumble out here in the land of Dawn, ladies and gentlemen, because it's time to set your foot on the ground and steal the momentum. It's Aikuwar and TX on the blue side taking on Zutsu, who are on that red side right now. And he did not really miss out on that early action in the bot lane because look at how aggressive Toby is playing against Aaron.
I mean, it's given, right? It's a given. And you can see, here's Scared.
Yeah, he's alive. He's fine for now. But I didn't like that steal away from the Go Crab as well. While Abyss TZ trying to do the same thing in the mid lane.
Yeah, and at the same time, you can take a look. They're mirroring each other's rotation, right? Going to the top side. Kramgog already gets spotted. They know he's coming to the top side. The Grok is not really that visible. Rarin preventing the invade from Charin that's coming to the top side on the double green creep. You can see he's moving his way there. But Dark and Mirio, this is where First Blood comes in. We've seen Dark fall into the hands of First Blood quite often. He's very aggressive in the early game, and I think that might just be a problem of his.
That's something that I kind of feel is like a double-edged sword for the side of Zutsu Esports, right? If he gets those early few kills, that means he's going to dominate in the lane and he will set the pace and momentum. If he gets picked off, yeah, things are going to be problematic. That's kind of what's happening right now up on top, though. Kramgod trying to run back to safety as well as Meteor is now going to freeze the lane in his favor to try and deny that level 4 to Dark.
Yeah, and not just that, look at the timing. Just before the turtle, now they have to force themselves to the top side. Maybe bait out a flicker of some sort before they get into the turtle pit.
Oh! So very close out there in the bottom lane, though. We've been so focused up top. That down bottom, though, we baited out that perfectly out here with the Darkling. Violet wanted to catch in first one, but will be baited out in the open. Lovely Violet Requiem as well to go in for that trade. Up, out, Dark left alone as Kramgod seals that finish away. Just down to Abyss TZ and Rarin in that fight. It's a 2-for-2 trade. But towards the turtle, it's a 1-for-2. And guess what? It's not really yet over out here with the Valkyrie descent. And hold on, Abyss TZ. He gave the setup of his lifetime out here to his team as Toby catches Charin as well. Because with that turtle, they've got those shields. And what a re-engage from Zutsu.
Yeah, it was a great re-engage, but at the same time, the early start from Charin, right? He had that Phantom Steed coming at the right time, got a couple of kills, just wasn't able to capitalize for the turtle because he used his Retribution quite early, and having the threat of the spatial migration from this Guinevere really changes the factor. Look at Witch, oh my goodness, absolutely having a terrible time with the dive that's coming in because Kramgod and Witch are not having the synergy that we thought they would. Not yet.
This is the big problem which I told as well, right? You cannot let that Lunox pass through on the other side. Yes, as much as she sometimes is a very open target after she uses Darkening, but the amount of damage that you can output, yeah, that is annoying, including reset by Abyss TZ.
Yeah, man, the orange buff just went for a walk, just complete walk in the park, in the jungle. Toby, meanwhile, on the bot side, they're able to take away this creep as well. Mountain Shocker being used by Aaron to provide some vision. Oh, he might go for an engage.
Yeah, he went in for the Valkyrie's descent as well, all the way back, Toby. So now he will have to play it a little bit more safe, but they are looking to make a play down in mid. A death bush being set up out there. Hopefully no one's going to fall into that right now, but
Kramgod.
Maybe, yeah, Kramgod. Cool. All right. They tried. All I'm going to say, they tried.
I mean, it's a false engage, Scared. It's a false engage 30 seconds just before the turtle, so it's not bad time to use it. If any good time, it was it so that you can get your ultimate back for the turtle. But look at Kramgod. He's supposed to be dominating this river with the help of this Khalid. Poke down the opposition as much as possible. But having a Grok on the opposition kind of prevents that from happening. And now you can see this Lunox as well has scaled to a little bit. Now you know they're going to get some damage items going. Already Dark getting that War Axe and providing great vision in and around the map. It's going to be a 4v4 here, making that a 5v4. And now they have to capitalize.
Yeah, the Mountain Shocker needs to be used by Aaron as quickly as possible to get those positions. But a big engage out here coming in for the Phobius as well in the back line. You're going to see Dog jumping in. Abyss TZ with the first one out as Charin steals away the objective, making a killing spree for Toby. Out Dog, he's tanking so much. Launching lands on as well. He's still trying to catch up onto this gimme as Witch cannot kite any longer. Toby shuts him down as Aaron runs for his life. As Violet almost finishing off as well. Zutsu Esports dominating in the second turtle.
I expected with that level 4 power spikes, with the power spike in the mid game that they have in their lineup, the Valkyrie Descent, the bravest fighter, you got that tech charge. The only negative that you can talk about the fact of Zutsu Esports that Abyss TZ is the one that has 4 kills and not Viole, because you need to make sure the kills in the hand are the right damage dealer. You want this Lunox to scale. Yes, you got the early game of the bag and 9-3 kill score. You are scaling really well into the mid game. You want to get that late game insurance, which they haven't got yet. Maybe if you take a look at their items and see, we'll find out how far ahead Viole is compared to Witch. But looking at it at the moment, I don't think he's really far behind. It's just about 600 gold, which is not really that bad compared to a marksman.
This random steed and that big tech charge out could have been big one, but guess what? They did not really expect the Phobias there. It's a shutdown with Mirio gets a double. A bad engage from Zutsu, but a nice punish from Aiku RNTX.
Yeah, I think now they're looking to take away this mid-tier 1. It's a really good engage. Call that the caster's curse, right? They had a great mid-game, and then RNTX found the opening. Zutsu dove in a little too deep, and they clap back instantly. They're not yet caught up in gold, but it's still enough time. They have this Leomord.
My goodness, Dark. This is the thing that we always talk about, right? Dark makes some nice plays during those team fights, but then the decisions like these is where he kind of lets that hook loose, and eventually the other side is able to catch up quickly.
Yeah, I agree, and I think this is going to be a problem, a thorn on their side. This is the final turtle of the game. Already Mount Chakra being used, and I think RNTX is going to get this in the back quite easily, thanks to that one overextension that came from Zutsu Esports. And this is what makes RNTX a really good lineup. They know how to punish the opposition. They have the knowledge. They have the information in their hand with the help of this Isun Shin. So you have to play according to that very factor. And Zutsu Esports not realizing that, maybe if they realize it, it might be too late. They're already behind in terms of gold right now. This is the first time they've caught up, and I think this will be a good time for RNTX to look at getting any sort of engage. Although Zutsu Esports have already hit their power spike in terms of what they can go with. The Freya, the Grok, the Lapu Lapu. If any good time is there for a great fight for both teams, I would say now would be it.
I don't know if I'm going to agree with that one for Zutsu specifically. For Aiku RNTX, yes, I agree. 100%. This is now the perfect time. Zutsu on the other side, I think so they'd rather want Violet to scale up a little bit more onto that Lunox now. That early spike that they had with the Genius Wand, now with that additional magic defense being added from Aiku RNTX, should be nullified a little bit. Plus, they do not have those lane priorities apart from having one in bottom. But guess what? Back in the mid, out here, a tech charge used up defensively by Abyss TZ to run back. He's going to stay alive.
I mean, at this point, again, you're missing out on the kills in the hands of Viole. And is it Viole or Viol? Scared. We got to figure that out. But it seems like they want to get this tier 1 in the mid lane. They're really desperate for it. It's just hanging by a thread. It just comes down to patience. And I think RNTX definitely have more of that compared to Zutsu.
They lost it once, and it entirely turned the game around with Aiku RNTX having the lead right now in this game. So yeah, I agree. Zutsu Raran picks up that brute force breastplate as well. He logged in that concentrated energy early on. Now, here's the thing. I'm not really a particular fan of a damaged Guinevere or even a semi-damaged Guinevere. I really like her to be fully tanky because of the Violet Requiem. The only magic item that I like on her is technically that Winter Crown, so that you can just be a beta for the team. But on the other side, we've seen a lot of Indian players, specifically those junglers, they like to go for that extra concentrated energy to maybe get that healing back up. For the slot being poked down to half HP. Aaron popping off that mountain instantly gave out that information.
I think the concert. Oh, never mind.
Engage out here yet again. And guess what? There's the re-engage with the spatial migration of the Violet Requiem landing. Fram got picked up, but guess what? It's a roamer for a damage dealer. Wit stands up in the backline, still kiting around. Toby lost alone in this pearl as Rarin hopped in to save his day, eventually gave his own life away. It's just Stark remaining now with a 2-for-4 trade. Aiku Revenant X-Spark with a massive win.
And this is where we see this Isun Shin come to light after taking a look at that replay. The dive coming at the right time. The Phantom Steed being used. Yes, you used the Violet Requiem, but my guy, you had no business being in that fight whatsoever. Zutsu Esports just completely collapsing down after a beautiful engage from Cramgod. And this is what he brings into the table, right? He understands the positions. He knows where the teammates are going to be. He knows where the oppositions might be, and just make sure you capitalize at the right time. And there was no better time just before the Lord came up. And now you can see on the top side, Raren's being forced back. Mir's going to be in the face of the opposition. And now they have enough space peeled for Witch and for Aaron to disrupt the entire lineup. And what can Zutsu Esports do? They have to look for that spatial migration, which we spoke about early on, alongside the tech charge. Again, just wish Abyss didn't have those 4 kills.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that they're definitely hitting their foot on the desk with. But at the same time, I also feel that it's also that momentum shift that came in after that one false engage or wrong engage by Zutsu Esports, right? I think so. After that, they've been kind of lacking in their engages. They haven't really been that aggressive or assertive all around the map, if you really think about it. Because they have that dive composition. And rather than going in for the re-engages, they are the ones who can actually take things in their own hands. Yes, Switch has the Purify. He is on that Kimmy. But I don't think so it should be that easy to kite around a Lunox, a Guinevere, a Grog, Freya, Lapu Lapu. Just too many people to actually take care of.
I think not just that scared. It's also the fact that who are they going to lock down? Who's going to be the target? Right, that's the big question for Zutsu Esports, because you need to find the right person to lock down. If they don't, it will be trouble. They definitely have enough burst damage to take down anybody on the opposition, apart from maybe Mirio, because that Phoveus is hella tanky. Maybe apart from that, they can lock down whoever they wish to. It just comes to show, are they going to be on the same page when it comes to these rotations, looking to get the right pick off? Because if you ask me, so far, Cramgod, he wasn't dominating the river early on, but now Abyss is having a hard time even staying in those bushes, but hey, seems like he won out on this small fight.
Out here, a micro win, and again, these micro wins eventually count and scale up now. And that's one thing which Zutsu will have to keep in their own mind. Now, here's the thing, because of the presence of that Yi Shin as well, I don't think so Zutsu in towards that late game can set up very successful death bush traps. Because it will be around that neutral objective time, and that's when Aaron will pop in his own Mountain Shock as well. You've got that 38k versus 36k goal mark already for IQ RNTX and Zutsu, where IQ RNTX are the ones who are leading, and that means they will have those early itemizations. We saw a couple of Winter Crowns being picked up from their side. Now that is going to bait Toby hard in that backline, which will give room for Mirio to hop into his own bonks as well.
Yeah, and not just about the bonks. You got to look at the wave pressure. Toby's on the top side. RNTX playing this macro beautifully, and now they're going to burst down this Lord as soon as possible.
Yeah. And they're also going in towards that backline as well, as Rarin could eventually be caught up out here. Still walks into the middle of the fight. And Wiley almost trying to catch Aaron, who guides away with that dash, and Sharon instantly shuts him down. It's down to 7,000 HP with the red tree coming in for Sharon. He secures the Lord, and everyone from Zutsu are now running for their own life. It's all man for himself, as Toby wants to hop back. Mirio hopping into the air, bonking on everyone.
Oh no!
And he just got dark, killed out in the open. Down bottom is where you've got the Mountain Shocker. Sharon cleans up the board. It's 3-4-0 and IQ and TX marching mid.
This is not just the point of having one big fight come out. It is those small micro wins that you spoke about earlier before, Scared. It's those waste of time that they had on the top side looking for the right target, but now they found it.
Absolutely raging slashes. Now you can set the tech charge on 4 people, but it does not matter. You've got no one to capitalize on that as Rarin falls, and it's all just down to one member. Make him go away, as by the time Dark falls, it's all over. It's all done for IQR and TX.
It was a beautiful way that they set up the late game. I mean, you can't even call it the late game. It was the Lord, right? Just at the right time. They knew what to do. On the top side, they had the wave pressure going. And if you go take a look again, the wave pressure was coming from the side of Zutsu Esports onto RNTX, but just when there were 20 seconds to the Lord, they got a wave clear going. They knew the pressure was going on the top side, which is the far lane, and then Toby had to go and respawn, and by the time he responded, the Lord is already up. All 5 members made their way to the Lord pit, and then instantly they saw Toby. He's not going to be there in the fight. Rarin was there, cornered into the tri-bush. Abyss is not able to open up the map anymore because of 5v4. Viola is out of position. RNTX went for the Lord. Aaron was taking the Lord, but the rest just said, you know what? I'm going to go for the backline. I'm going to go for the jungler. Get him low. He's not going to be available for this Lord. And next thing you know, that that's what they did. By the time Toby came in, he had the Valkyrie Descent on point. But then again, he missed out on the right targets. They're just so good at kiting, and Zutsu Esports need to get back to the drawing board and see how to play this macro game. Because if you ask me, they have the skills in terms of playing the micro game right. They got the power spice. They've dotted their I's and crossed their T's, but in terms of the macro, yeah, RNTX are definitely a step ahead.
One of the big things that actually popped into my mind as well while looking at that early game versus what happened in the mid to late game was the fact that after that one mistake, Zutsu were not able to bring themselves back out of that slumber, right? Because every single mistake that you make it eventually puts you in that one negative place where you've got to quickly reset and think like, all right, whatever happened. We made that one small error into thinking what we're going to do. It did not happen in our own way. We reset, we hop back in onto our default plan. I think so that one mental reset is where Zutsu failed out in this entire game. Again, this engage was not that bad. It's just that the coordination of the players, it kind of looked off, right? Abyss going in first. The follow-up was half a second too late, which gave IQ RNTX time to reposition or regroup and then go in for that re-engage. And once that happened, they never let that momentum chain go.
Yep. Momentum, tempo, that's the name of the game in Mobile Legends 5v5. And if you don't have the tempo on your side, it's not looking good. Again, here, this was so good, so timed right. They went in for the right targets. Toby is just left completely isolated. You have a full dive composition, but only have one member diving on the opposite side. So it's not looking good whatsoever. And it's always Toby. He's all gung-ho. Use that Valkyrie Descent, and you have no way to come back whatsoever. So you want the rest of your teammates to dive with you. Unfortunately, that they're not on the same page, but you can't say that about RNTX. They knew what to do. They knew where they had to be.
Yeah.
They got the base crystal and they got game number 1.
And with that, they've also got the MVP of this game and none other than Sharon onto that Leo mod. He had a good amount of kill participation, right? This is one thing which I always focus on. 94% kill participation means he was there in every single fight that his team was taking, barring one. That was probably that 1v1 which happened in the bottom lane. And I kind of like his build as well. War Axe into the Endless Battle for some extra bit of sustain, as well as that true damage burst on that basic attack after the skills. And you add in the Queen's Wings to get that extra bit of sustainability with the Brute Force Breastplate, along with Tough Boots. On full stacks, you've got quite a lot of that crowd controlled resistance. So I do like with how he was thinking. And at the end of the day, yes, I'm going to double down onto that fact. I think so. In that entire scenario, IQ RNTX knew the exact targets they want to target, while Revenant Xpark, or rather, while Zutsu did not really know who they want to prioritize, and that's why they were going one after the other rather than all 5 people hopping in together.
Yeah, I think the synergy of the heroes were definitely there. The synergy of the players, you can't really say about that. But then again, you can talk about how Zutsu were not able to get what they had on point, but like if we take a look again, I wish we could go back to the point that we really want to show, because the macro from RNTX just before the Lord, 20 seconds before the Lord, you can say maybe it starts at 60, right? The Lord starts showing at 60 seconds before it spawns. Maybe around the 30 to 20 second mark, you can take a look at what exactly was going on in the map. Cram got on the top side, got a clear coming down, and instantly, once that was there, he didn't have to clear all the ways. He just had to make sure the pressure on their side. Toby had to go and respond. The Lord is up. Next thing you know, it's a 4v5, just like that, in the blink of an eye, all coming through those micro wins that we like to call it. And this is a style of play that people have to be ready for. We're already seeing that come out in the hands of SAUL before, and now we're seeing that in the hands of RNTX. And the other teams have to understand it's not brawl no more. If you're just going to keep brawling, you might as well just turn on your phone, go and play ranked or play brawl, my guy, because at the end of the day, if the esports scene is growing, you got to make sure you're on the train, or you can just stop off on the next station. Because either way, the train is going to keep moving. You got to be on board or you're going to be left behind. And that's what RNTX are saying here.
I mean, that's one of the big things which you mentioned, right? Because it's not just one of the teams that we are seeing right now, but also another one, right? I know a lot of things that happen on the back end, and right now, Aiku Soul, if we talk about them, they're the ones who are literally taking off and flying pretty high into the air, while all the other teams are catching up. I do like the idea of how Zutsu have significantly improved upon their drafting as compared to the last time that we actually saw them. So I think so that's one step at a time. Now they've got to focus down on their in-game coordination and the win conditions for their composition. Now with that Valentina ban in that first banning phase, I
Uh,
am expecting them to prioritize a Sora. I know I'm not a fan of Valen ban as well in the first phase, but I think so this is what they're directing at.
Now, I mean, first ban, my guy. Like Valentina, yes, the mage is flexible. So what? You're gonna go Grok
Yeah.
first pick, and then gonna pick Sora with Leomord on the same side. On the same side, it's now the draft is left so open. It's RNTX's way to play for it. It's up to them what they pick and choose to do. The Yu Zhong is banned out here. Again, target ban onto Mirio. Maybe something that they need to look at once more. It could be a first pick material, but I can say for now, Grok is left open, Easton Shin's left open on the table. You definitely have a lot of other mid laner options open in terms of the Kimmy, the Kadita is another great pocket pick. The Boxia, again, this has been a strategy that a lot of teams have been applying. Just take out these two heroes and let's see what's gonna happen. So far, I think draft. I don't know what's going on with the Valentina ban. Could be some sort of graphic error. I hope it is. If not, then I think we're gonna see either a pocket pick draft come out from Zutsu.
We'll have to see, man. I personally feel that Zutsu are trying to prioritize the Sora right here, right now. That's the only thing which I see. Because we've seen this kind of meta as well. Sora picked up in the EXP lane, countered by Valentina instantly, or not really countered fully, but rather, you've got your own Sora in the team now. You just simply copy that ultimate with the IMU, go in with the full tank build on the Valentina, and then just mirror whatever the enemy Sora is trying to do. That's the only idea, or rather the viewpoint which I can see from Zutsu's perspective. They also ban out the Freya now. Don't want to pick it up. I do not want it to let go on the other side. So I think they're willing to trade off that Claude along with the carry, which were banned out in the previous game.
I mean, not just the Cloud and the Carry. The Yisun Shin still left open. The Kalea is still left open. The Yisun Shin, I think the Grok was left open. The Grok's been banned up. It's got to be Yisun Shin coming through because the way that Aaron played the Yisun Shin in the previous game, absolutely amazing. And I think credit where it's due because when you play Easton Shin in the goal lane, it's not about getting those individual laning battles. It's about how you can get to the point where your team is enough moving forward. Your team has the power spike and you have the macro control. Using that Mount Shocker at the right place at the right time. So the synergy between the players definitely being shown. And now I think Zutsu have a plethora of options to choose from. Are they going to go for the Kalea maybe first pick? No, they still go for the Easton Shin. Is it going to be in the jungle or is it going to be in the goal lane? That's the biggest question here.
I like the flexibility there, but I personally think it should go into that jungle position. Out there on the other side, you do have the Eve Gato combo if you want to go for. You also have the Kalia if you want to pick her up. Maybe the Sora. Now, since the Valentina is banned out on the other side, you've got that flexibility as well to put that Sora in either the gold or maybe the EXP. But they actually prioritize Aaron. All right. I want to pick up that Claude along with the Gato. Logged in instantly. Now Zutsu has got again their own things that they can cook up. Pick up the
They got a
Kalia
lot
right
of
here.
dive. Yeah, I think pick up the Kalea is a great option, but along with the Kalea, maybe lock down the carry. If you're really looking to put this Easton Shin in the jungle, it's okay to show your cards because if you're going to be in the jungle later on, regardless, even if you're in the gold lane, you have a lot of dive coming at you with that AOG, with that Blazing Duet BMI combo. The Easton Shin's not going to be allowed to breathe, and maybe if RNTX double down and pick up a Uranus early on, yeah, it's going to be tough. Maybe just go with something that works. With the Lunox again, the Kalea. I think it's just got to be a Kalea plus something, right? Unless they want to go for a Leomord and leave this Easton Shin at the goal lane. Ooh.
Okay. Okay. Interesting to see the early prioritize the Khalid along with that Fredrin. Now that's a lot of questions. I think so. The Fredrin could either go into that EXP or be put into the jungle, and a similar thing could be said for that Yisun Shin. Maybe put that Yisun Shin in that gold lane, or maybe put that in the jungle. Now it's a question in the minds of RNTX. That's a lot of flexibility out there. What they might be going in for.
I don't know, man. I think at this point, just lock down your mid laner and then choke the opposition mid laner because you don't have a lot left open. The Kimmy is a great option. They already played in the previous game. They could go for the Lunox once again. Maybe go for some more AoE control with the Zetian.
True.
because you definitely have the peel available with it, and the Zetian works wonders against a Fredrin, does really well against the Eastland Shin. They go for a Lapu Lapu just to make sure they get their EXP locked in at the same time. So a lot being revealed on the side of Zutsu, even though they didn't go for. I still don't understand. I don't like the Fredrin so much. It's really bothering me because you got a Claude on the other side, and come mid to late game, you're technically just a cannon minion to him at that point.
Or maybe if in case, let's just say the Fred can position himself pretty well, he can taunt in and maybe knock up the Claude, try and disrupt him in his own ultimate, or at least force him on that Purify. But again, yeah, that Winter Crown play is going to destroy your entire backline either way in that
Really,
lane.
bro. It's not just about the Winter Crown. It's the fact that he has enough members to peel for him. You got the Lapu Lapu, you got the Gatot Kacha. I think that's plenty of peel for this Claude. And now it's just about adding pieces to making this lineup excel. You got that Esmeralda banned out. I think they're probably going to go for Eve. Even because if there's a Eve being picked up by RNTX, oh my god, Zutsu are gonna be playing a game that they did not prepare for. A Leomord being banned out, Guinevere doubling down on the jungle options. I think Charon can still go for a
Lancelot.
like a Lancelot's available, Hayabusa is still available. I'm not sure if he plays the Fanny, but if he does, Fanny is still available. Still think yeah, probably just pick up the Eve right now, and then let's see what can be picked up on the other side. Because it's definitely adding to the composition. You have that kill box. You can slow them down. You definitely have the AOG, that Blazing Duet BMI, and then the Bravest Fighter. So it just adds. At this point, you're just building. It's a block over blocks. They go for the Joy, which is even better. But yes, you're going to have problems against the Fredrin's taunt, but you're not allowing the Eastern Shin to breathe whatsoever.
Again, it seems like Ico and TX thought that, you know what, Zutsu's all 5-member dive composition was working in the early game. Let's just copy it, but in our own style. We're also going in for an all 5 dive composition, but the only difference is we can add in a Claude into that mix along with the Gato and the Joy. We're going to change the pieces, but the idea remains the same. That they go in for those engages, they're the ones to take the momentum in their own hand. On the other side now, Zutsu. I think so. They're kind of forced onto that carry now in this situation. Even if you pick up that carry now, you just add some more targets for Ico and TX to target, right? So that they can at least be disrupted in their own flow. They lock in the Phoveus along with the Kimi.
Okay, you got a double scaling lineup. You definitely have the front line. You have the Phoveus to dive in as much as possible. They definitely can play the macro game. Their rotations are going to be utterly slow apart from the mid duo that they have. The jungler is going to be late to the party, but there's the Eve that I spoke about early on. It's okay to bring that in late because now with the Joy being picked up, they had no option to go for apart from this Kimi, maybe a Lunox, but then again, after the Brilliance is used, you're not going to have a great time. The Kimi's a great option to kite. They have a double scaling lineup copying what RNTX did, so maybe just flip the script and see what's coming in, what you got coming in store. But at this moment, Scared, if you ask me, I think RNTX lineup still looks really solid. It just comes down to how can Rarin find a way to snowball with this Fredrin. Is he going to be enough of a problem for Charin to have any sort of disruptions while going in? Or is he just going to walk in scot-free and then it's just going to be all she wrote?
Because he's going to be the only main win condition for his team right now, as Aaron will have the priority in the goal lane against Toby. Ladies and gentlemen, we're walking into the second time in this Land of Dawn where Zutsu Esports are trailing by 1 game against Aiku RNTX, as this time they look to double up the lead.
Oh, well, at this point, I think it's going to be coming down to the rotation that I spoke about early on. They're going to have a fast mid duo, but the sides are going to be utterly slow. And I think that's the best part if RNTX will be able to capitalize. It is a best of 5. They already have 1 game on their side. And the first 30 seconds, first 1 minute, not mattering as much as it did in the previous game. But I think for Zutsu, every single small win that they can get definitely matters, especially if you're rocking that Fredrin. And I don't know, I really don't know how they're going to fare well with that Lord fights, right? The Lord dance where it's going to come down to, or even if they're going to reach that point, because Abyss has already taken a lot of poke, and Cramgod is not shying away from going 1v1 against this roamer just to see who's going to come out on top in this river control.
Yeah, that's one of the big things out, right? IQ, RNTX, and they've got that confidence from the previous game that even though with the heroes that they know they might not win that mid lane battle, they're still trying to take those early skirmishes. Now, one thing that I'm still surprised about is why Aaron is not playing aggressive in that bottom lane. I'll be straight up honest with you. A Claw destroys Yi Sunshin in the early game. Even till level 6, level 7, he just straight up wins on a straight up battle. So you can force Toby back into the turret and maybe try and get that aggressive play setup to force some of the minions off of him in this early game.
I mean, yes, but also at the same time, I think the Yi Sunshin definitely has that Heavenly Bow that he can use to his advantage, depending on how aggressive Aaron wants to go. At this point, I think just wait and play the macro game, get your level 4 power spike using Blazing Duet to clear. Toby got the level 4. He should be using the Mountain Shocker at any point right now to provide a lot more vision. Everybody visible on the map. Turtle is up, and they're going to fight.
They absolutely are, because now Sharon will have to dash off of that play. The UM dropped in as well, which he could eventually be targeted, but guess what? It's Dog being baited out at every single front. He's got to burn up his flicker to hop back towards his teammate, but it doesn't really matter. And now Abystizi is left alone in that backline, who will be taken down. Which catches to AOG being used up as our Rarin tries to jump away 400 HP, and that turtle is stolen away from him, and so is his life sucked out of his body. No soul left here.
Oh my god, Rarin is kicking himself. He is so tilted at this point. Look at the position. They wanted to get the turtle. Abyss went in a little too deep, got low, gets poked away. Rarin understands he got to get away from this AOG. The turtle was so low. He was turking for it at this point, but then just zoning him away. They're not on the same page. Again, you can tell that Viol has good damage to get to the point where he can scale, but not enough to go against 3 beefy boys right in front of you.
And one of the big things which I have to say is that Charin was the one who set everything up. He disrupted the entire formation of Zutsu Esports early on in that fight by hopping in towards that back with the electrifying beats, instantly triggering the chain reaction of Zutsu Esports not knowing what they can do in that fight. And again, this is all happening without the gold laners hopping there.
Yep.
Oh,
no.
Dark. Oh my god, Meteor's just recalling on top of his face now. And he picks up the war axe. Probably.
I don't know. At this point, I mean, you already put yourself on the back foot with the draft, right? You want to scale. In this case, the hyper carry is Viol on that Kimmy. Right, it's the Kimmy as well as the Yi Sunshin. You got a double hyper carry. Which one do you want to go with? No, Charon finds Viol. This is going to be easy pickings for him.
Nice kiting from Viol, right? He opts in with the flicker and instantly dropped in that ultimate as well to try and catch him in its place. But the traction pulse was just not enough to get him all the way down. He dashed away.
Again.
But look at this push. This could be a big one out with the AOG along with the right at the edge. RWM. Rodent will have to hop back. And it's all down to Dog being left out alone in the open as Bitch flickers out of the harm's way with a blazing duet on his face. This Phobius needs to run away, but he has got no place to run. As up in the air he goes and flies too close to be brought back down 6 feet under.
Man, Icarus flew too close to the sun and he got burnt. That's what happened in this game. He went into the back line. The idea is right, but the hero is kind of wrong. The Phobius wants to be a front line for his damage dealers. And at this point, again, Toby is kind of being left alone. There's no one to fend for him. The Viol's got no peel left whatsoever. With these kind of heroes, you want to make sure you replicate what RNTX did previously in the mid game. You have the frontliners peeling for you, and then the backliners will deal the damage. And again, before that turtle, Charon on the top side was able to get a clear just before the turtle, adding some more pressure, and he came in late to the fight. By then, they were already decimated. Cram got positioned, and he got the unbreakable to make sure the beefy boys got taken out.
And one of the big things that we always talk about Fredrin is that he wants to remain ahead in the farm. It's like that what old Nolan used to do, right? You need to get that early level advantages as well, just to be ahead of that enemy jungler. Now you've got that Fredrin, who's got almost a similar idea. You want to farm up, you want to be ahead, but he's 2 levels behind. He was 2 levels behind. Now again, it's Charin on level 10, Rarin on just level 8.
Well, on this, you can see a nice Mountain Shocker trying to catch it. Kramgot, he's quite tanky, adding to that now. They might get a kill.
Hello? Oh my goodness, hold on a second. He tanks in the bonk as well of Rarin. KRM mode. Oh my god, he still survives out of all of that. And they hard baited him with Steezy. Holy smokes, that was so insane.
I mean, I want to take a look at the items of Viola as well. Maybe they... Oh, no. Now they steal away the purple buff. This is just annoying. I think Rarin is just kicking himself. He wishes he had that purple buff. Unfortunately, he doesn't. He's level 8 to Charin's level 10. Yeah, this is a great game that's kind of exposing the weaknesses of Zutsu Esports and also highlighting the strengths of RNTX, what they're bringing to the table in terms of their macro. Again, Zutsu Esports are nowhere close in terms of where they need to be with gold 4K behind. Dark wants to get the turtle reset so Rarin can have a good time. But again, look at the Rarin's positioning. They could just dive on him at that point and it could have been a free kill.
It doesn't even matter about this turtle right now. It's level 11 versus level 8. 3 levels advantage for Charin. And yes, I agree. There have been a couple of chances for RNTX to punish Zutsu, but they haven't been picking it up. Now, look at the position of Aaron as well. He will hop into this fight very early on now. It's down to a 4v4 right now. Soon to be turned into a 5v4 as the turtle being picked up by Charin. And down in the backline, Abistizi now should be taken down as well as Rarin already fell into the hands of Aaron. It's Dark being left alone in the land of 4. The only thing Toby could do was to get that tier 1 down bot, but it doesn't matter.
My god, Dark, it feels like it was a buy one, get one free. You get Rarin, you get Dark for free. 2 kills on Rarin and 4 on Dark. They're not having a good time, and Abyss is not able to do anything about it. He wants to make plays, but he's not able to dominate the river. The mid lane is not getting any sort of kills. I think Viola is waiting for a Sky Piercer to do some sort of damage, but then by then it might be just a little too late. Because yes, the damage dealers haven't died a single time, but if the frontliners can't tank enough, it's going to be difficult. They're already losing out of the tier 1 on the bot lane. They're losing now the tier 1 on the top side. The mid lane's going to crack open in the next minute. Witch has gone back to the base to make sure he gets his mana back up. They have all the ultimates available. The next fight before the Lord is going to be in the mid lane. You can predict this game already, Scared. And I think they're going to win out, get a couple of kills, and then it's going to be the Lord. And Rarin's going to be a little late to the party again.
That dude is level 9. Pram God is level 9 on the other side. That's a jungler out here now with the AOG ready up as well. An instant burst out while he did not have the Purify. Now even with the Revitalize, they can hop in for this re-engage. The only good thing that happened for Zutsu was the fact that they cleared out the mid lane. That's about it.
Well, they cleared out the mid lane, but it's still 25 seconds to the Lord. They baited out a couple of flickers as well on the other side. So now they need to find a way to capitalize. I think Abyss TZ needs to find a way to get that big Raging Sandstorm on the right target. Now is the best option to try and force some sort of errors coming in from the side of RNTX if you're Zutsu Esports. But if you're RNTX, just play the safe game. Wait it out. Wait for the couple of flickers. Maybe get some poke left, right, and then get the Lord for yourselves. Because so far, Kramgot is doing an absolutely phenomenal job in dominating this river and not letting Abyss TZ do his work.
Yeah. And now, guess what? IQ RNTX are going to take down this Lord as well, instantly bursting it. Aaron already had the Trinity. You got Sharon up there, instantly taking it down. Toby with the vision, just getting those side lanes. It's just being an annoying Zilong in your rank games right now. Or the Sun, depending on the rank.
I mean, like, bro, like, Yi Sun Shin splitting the map is good, but not having a single kill, yeah. I mean, that's okay if you're able to get up in terms of farm, but he's level 11 and Charon's level 14. At this point, he's going to be a hyper carry, and so is Viol. I think Viol's got himself the Sky Piercer, but 0 stack. If anything, he's probably given the opposition a stack if they had a Sky Piercer. And at this point, look at the way that they're protecting the Lord. Look at how they're they're just completely cutting off our Zutsu Esports from getting anywhere close to the Lord. They're escorting this Lord like it's some sort of VIP, and now they want to get onto the mid lane, and it's not going to happen.
Oh my god, what a burst coming in from Aaron. This is the strength of a Claude. I was just about to say that Zutsu Esports are trying a little bit too hard onto protecting that tier 1 in mid lane. I think so they should just let it go and focus down on bursting the Lord down first. Now it's all Raran left alone. The Bong did not land. My goodness, that could have been Aaron taken down in one shot, but he's probably thanking his stars right now. And with all of that, they take care of the Lord, but holy shields are all down along with the tier 2s now with the bot lane falling.
I think the bot lane should be able to be defended just because of the fact that they have the holy shield. The top lane inhibitor is going to go away. And again, they're just too behind. They get that nice use of the ultimate, but Abyss TZ, again, you see the Raging Sandstorm come through, but the wrong target. You're not looking to take down Agatotkacha. And he has full rage as well. That's something that nobody wants to be near. And at this point, he had the Revitalize available. Ooh, it's looking dicey, Scared. It's looking dicey. This is the best of 5. I don't know, man. I don't know. It might just feel like the next game. This game looks like it's killing the confidence of Zutsu, not just because of the fact that they're not able to do anything. They've got no kill on the board. They haven't been able to open the points. They haven't been able to get a single thing. They haven't got a single objective. Oh, this is looking tough. And this comes down to the preparation that IQR and TX have put in. Getting Coach Dale, who can bring in the right kind of mentality the team needs. And now what's going to happen? You can see how it's reaping benefits. You can see how they're able to capitalize, how they're able to expose, how they're able to break down the opposition. And by no means is Zutsu Esports a bad team whatsoever. They're a great team. They're a top 4 team in India. They have been for the longest of times. But now you're starting to see which teams are getting serious and which teams are starting to pull apart. We've already seen IQ Soul as well as Godlike, and now we're going to see RNTX get that point.
Oh, this could be big out here. Mysteezy hopping in, trying to run back to safety, but guess what? That land shaker was perfectly anticipated by Mirio. Now he seems to be caught in the wrong place with a 3-man being landed on by that sword. They also drop in the RWM just to bully them out of their own purple, so that they can take an easy Lord.
Oh my god. I don't did he get the purple? Okay, at least he got the purple buff. At least he got the purple buff this time. Yeah, he saved the retribution. It's all right. They can get the Lord, he can get the purple buff. They got the inhibitor on the top side at 13 kills, and I bet somebody somewhere who are hosting watch parties are probably saying the first one to die in RNTX is gonna, they're gonna call names for them, but I'm nobody to say that. Whoever you are, let's see how it goes down. The Lord's coming on the top side. They're going to get all 3 waves synced. And the initiator is going to be Mirio with that Bravest Fighter jumping in. And then you're going to have Cram God pop that AOG just to protect Witch. Calling it. Let's see how it goes, Scared.
I like the double up onto that mid lane as well. Now there we go with the AOG. Hopped in along with the RWM. They're still trying to burst them down.
Oh
he goes in. He takes him down. Abyss is just being dived in that room. As Charin just does his own thing to hop back, they will take the mid inhibitor too. Aaron has picked up the Malefic gun. This could be big. This could be tough. And look at the amount of damage he's dealing. That is nasty.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, Aaron is taking them to school at this point with the way that he's playing the gold lane. 3-0-4 on that Claude. Yeah, and Cram God. Whoa. 2-0-10 on a Gatotkacha that goes all in or completely goes broke. In this case, bro is rich. He ain't broke at this point. 9,000 gold. And Toby is at the same point. And he's supposed to be the gold laner. The hyper carry. And they're behind 11,000. 15 minutes in. They can barely defend. They have 1 tower left standing on the bot side. 75 seconds for the next Lord. They definitely want to contest that. But again, Abyss TZ is trying the best that he can to dominate this river. He's just not able to do so. They're trying to play a 3-2 split. But the 2 on the bot side, I think they're going to be at split and they're going to go down. Look at the Fredrin.
Yeah, the 3 people were on the wrong side of the map out here, I believe.
Oh
Cram God
no,
is here.
4v5.
Charin, he's also got the full stacks as well. So yeah, this 4v5 could turn deadly. Oh, Cram God is now being taken down to half HP, but with that revitalize, he doesn't really care. Now here's the thing. Wile has the Divine Glaive. Hold on,
Oh no,
Aaron, you
no,
don't do
no,
that,
no,
Toby!
no.
You don't do that to
That's
Toby!
illegal.
Oh my god, he's also ready with the blazing to it. As a Beasties, he could not go for the trade. That's the power of a Claude.
I mean, not just that scared. I think we called it in the draft, right? Saying that the Eastern Shin being picked up needs some sort of protection because instantly the first two picks, if you remember on the side of RNTX, was that Gatot Kacha and the Claude. And that is the very reason you needed somebody to stop them from coming in. For that particular reason, the Eastern Shin cannot do anything if the Claude dives in, if the Gatot Kacha dives in. And unfortunately, that's what's happening to them right now. The draft is kind of exposing them to the point where they cannot deal with the picks coming from RNTX, and they can only watch their goal laner die. Again, yes, they can defend if RNTX overextend. Yes, it's a 10k goal lead. We have seen games that have tilted or flipped even though they were behind by 10k even more, but it comes down to the fact, will RNTX make that mistake? And the way that they're playing with the momentum that they've had in the previous game, in this one, with the tempo and what they're going, and they have not dropped the tempo one single time, and I don't think they're going to make that mistake. The Lord is going to come in on the mid lane and it's going to be an end.
Oh my god, look at that damage. Lord is hopping in the mid lane,
Wait
but
for Aaron.
focused on taking down this bottom tier 3. And yeah, I agree with the amount of burst damage that they already have. They've already baited out the flicker along with the mountain shocker of Toby. So yes, he's got nothing to save his own life now.
Duet.
Can hop in at any time now. He goes in for the electrifying beats, though. Charin is the first one to hop in with the AOG as well. They now want to catch Raren. He's actually caught, but a good taunt coming in on him. But the land shaker in the backline on to
Here
two.
we go.
Not should be cleared out quickly with the blazing to it with the winter crown. Toby's busted down as the game is taken by Aiku RNTX 2 for none.
Sheesh, that's all we can say. That was a really good display of how to get your macro on point. Yes, they gave away one kill, but the timing, the way that they went in, layered their skills, baiting out the flickers, baiting out the ultimates that were necessary, saving the ultimates that they needed, knowing what to expend and what not. Yeah, that's a masterclass of how to break down the opposition and how to maximize the utility from your kit and your draft. Well done, RNTX.
True. I absolutely loved it. I would not even say that I was a bit skeptical about that decision of dropping the RWM to take down the inhibitor down bot, right? Because they forced out that flicker along with the mountain shocker of Toby. So we both just knew that it's done. He doesn't have anything to save his own life against that Claude, and I think so they've got to go back to the drawing board again. I agree that the draft was the problem, but I personally feel that instead of that Khalid, a Minotaur would have been wonderful for the lineup.
Okay, maybe the Minotaur would have been good in the team fights, but the early game would have been even more disastrous, if you ask me. So
it still was.
I was thinking a Kalea. I think a Kalea would have been so much better. Just because of the fact that you can play him. Yeah, you could play more aggressive. You give more space to Viol, and then you have a lot of heal come. This felt really mad. This was... I bet at this point, Raren just like lost it. He was so tilted, can't do anything. And look at that. That's a beautiful set coming in from Cram God, knowing they're going to walk into that bush, which utilizing the RWM. He doesn't care if he's just getting one kill. It's fine. Again, Dark goes in, but he's by himself. The dive that Zutsu Esports had in the first game and in the second, it's only one person diving in rather than having 2 or 3 members. One is not good enough. And I think that's something that they need to learn and capitalize on in terms of what they are bringing in their own toolkit. Because RNTX showed that in the first game, and they showed that in the second. And maybe even the third, we never know. But the way that they've been breaking down the opposition, finding the right time to utilize the ultimates, you can even call the game from the first minute after a couple of mistakes have been made, just because RNTX are polishing themselves and they're playing a very clean game. And this is the kind of games that we want to see Indian teams get to the level of. So whenever there's an international competition, if there is one, I think this will be what we would like to see them go up against some of the best of the best. some
And
clean, crisp gameplay.
subtly dropping the spoilers there, right? Are we not? But yeah, I
I
agree.
don't know.
It's about those clean gameplays, and one of the big things that I noticed, the reason why RNTX had such a clean game was definitely because of Cramgod. You could say every single person was doing their job, but the amount of map opening that this man was doing, the amount of river control that was being provided by him, it not just enabled Mirio to do his own thing into that team fight by diving in that backline, knowing that he will get the support with the AOG, but it also helped out Witch to use his real world manipulation and his Eve at the maximum potential. Those were the few things which not just helped his own team, or rather his own gameplay, but rather his entire team. I'd have to say, if I want to make a reference, I'd say he was Akashi Seijiro from Kuroko no Basket. That's how
Yep,
well
I would agree.
Crab God was playing.
I mean, not just that, the way that RNTX have been playing, man, they've been predicting every single way that their movement is. And I think they've been able to read the entire map way before Zutsu Esports could even make the move. So I would say so, yeah. Akashi Seijiro is a good reference and MVP, rightly so, with the way that he was kind of dominating the river. I mean, we never failed to mention it the entire time. And if there's one thing that teams want to look at, this is the level you got to catch up to if you want to stay with the top dogs. Otherwise, they're just slowly starting to fall behind.
One of the best thing that I also liked about Cram God was the itemization, right? Instantly prioritizing the blade armor and then going in for the radiant armor. Because his teammate went in for the radiant armor first. So you had that mix and match of the build, adding in all of those items passive and utilizing all of that perfectly, right? Because Kimmy, as much as she likes to auto attack and is countered by that radiant armor, the damage is lowered, but that blade armor is what actually hurts the Kimmy herself. So I like that min maxing happening in those items as well. Kronos, we've already seen the scoreline 2-0. Are you going to
And
predict this to be a 3-0, 3-1, 3-2? In whose favor?
we can't say, it's not over until the fat lady sings. And I think, for a fact, we've seen reverse sweeps happen quite often in Mobile Legends 5v5. And I think you can't count them out. Maybe they just need a wake up call, shake it up. Next thing you know, Zutsu Esports might be back with full swing. RNTX could get a bit overconfident, but at this point, you can tell that the way that Zutsu Esports are playing, it's not their usual self. Even if it is, they need to find and step up to the plate because, if this is the level that they're going to output the entire time, it's not going to work out. It could be morale among the players. It could be some sort of confusion. It could be some sort of dispute. Maybe they're having a bad day, woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know, bhai. Peet kharab ho gaya, kuch kha liya, bhai. Kidhar jana hai usko. Maybe they're rushing things. But it's the way that they're playing. Like, it doesn't feel their natural game. And if it is, it just doesn't feel right. So maybe they just need a bit of a wake-up call. And then we could see a really good game of ML. But at the moment, RNTX, they're doing everything right. They're taking their check boxes, dotting their I's, crossing their T's. And I think I'd like to see them go more. I'd like to see more what RNTX can offer because definitely at this moment with SAUL taking the highlight and the spotlight most of the time and Godlike having their own rivalry, I think RNTX could be that slippery snake that nobody's looking out for. And next thing you know, they could strike at the right time. So, hey, just saying, man, you got to watch out for all these big teams.
You definitely have to out here. Specifically, if you want to try and take this one series away, you will have to stop IQR and TX. So Zutsu Esports will really be looking forward to trying and change their tactics for this one. But ladies and gentlemen, again, you all were watching the Indian Championship Series. We have got our tech partner as AOC Gaming. It's powered by Vista Games as well. Don't worry, we're not ending the stream right now. We still have got potentially 3 games remaining out. But those ones will be taken over by none other than Asteezy and Debbie on this other side of break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
एडिक्ट छ भन्नु कि लिभ नगर्नु भन है
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Jutsu Gaming's Indian Championship Series. We are back into the banger, and right now the lower bracket final is cooking up. And it is between Team Jutsu Esports versus IQRNTX. It's your boy Ashteezy on the casting deck, and with me is none other than my fellow co-caster, Debbie will be joining with me. So, the main thing, Debbie, I'm gonna talk directly onto the point. That is Team IQ RNTX, they just lost into the upper bracket. They came into that lower bracket scene, and then after that, they grind on and on and on and on. And now they're gonna play the lower bracket final. And let me tell you, if they're winning this game, this is a match
Yep.
point because they already got 2-0 against Jutsu. So this is the match point game against Jutsu. And if they are winning this game, it will be their first final as IQ RNTX. Because
Yep.
the last one, I believe it was in Casby Plays tournament. They went to the final as IGN. They won it. They got the contract of IQRNTX. And after that, they were always fourth, fifth, third, kind of this. But for this tournament, 1 lakh prize pool, Indian Championship Series, sponsored by AOC, they are about to go into the final for the first time. And they might gonna take the revenge of Mythic Showdown Season 2, in which EVT managed them to knock them out from the land, if you remember, because you were there.
Of course, that's what we are waiting for actually. As but thinking about it, this is gonna be a rematch, right? From the upper brackets that you are able to knock RNTX down into the lower bracket. So this is a redemption arc, of course, and RNTX they have come back with a strong draft, always with a good set of heroes that they have picked onto their self right now. And talking about hero picks in the draft here, we are gonna be heading directly into the game number 3 here. RNTX they are onto the first pick. Jutsu will be again onto the second pick here. Looking at the band so far, Boxer, Carry, and Croc. These are the heroes that the RNTX usually bans when they are onto the blue side. And Jutsu though, this is kind of a must ban. The Jushin always got to go. But about the Khalid here, I want to say something here is that Cram got onto the Khalid, or he usually always make it work. And usually you won't see this kind of ban. So this is a perfect target ban with a very macro heavy style that RNTX has been playing with. The Khalid played a big role, and now they are actually adjusting to this, and I kind of like that they have taken away this hero in particular from the rumor here.
Of course, and that's the thing, Debbie. Like, some picks because this is the third game in this BO5 series. Already, a lot of term cards has been revealed from both these sides. So you're gonna ban those respect uh, heroes because you don't want these heroes to be into the hand of Meteor or Alan the Creator. And Jutsu need to play very wisely, macro wise, whatever it is. But they need the win. This is the do what I said. If not this, then they will be the third one in this whole tournament. They started it so well. They went to the upper bracket. Now they're in the lower bracket finals. They lost it from EVT, but now IQRNTX is giving them the hard time. And like from now, if they start the win, they need to go for the river sweep, which is possible. But with the confidence getting low after losing 2 matches, it looks so. I mean, like not so possible kind of thing. But I believe Jutsu Esports, they know how to make their comeback. This is the game between one of the OG mid laner versus the future rising star. Viole versus Witch. I always say this thing. The GOAT versus the rising star. So this game really gonna be around that mid lane. Yuzong with the Farsa coming in by the side of Team Jutsu, whereas Ishin Chin will be traded out. My question to you, it's a flex Aaron or the jungler Sharon?
Most of the time when RNTX pick up the Yishin 90% of the time it goes into the hands of Aaron. But the fact that Terran can also play this hero in particular can make it a big flex here right now, so it's very understandable. But then, Jutsu with the direct reply, if you see a Yishin, you usually want to pick out a hero that can dive in and also have a bursty magic damage dealing potential. And that is coming through with the Yuzhong as well as the Farsa. And the Yuzhong first pick coming into the hands of Dark as well kind of makes sense that this definitely is going to be a deny as well. So very understandable that they have to take it away here. Very good, solid 2 first picks. Now INTX though, they're directly going on to the Valentina as well as the Leomore. These 2 are the heroes that they usually find the comfort of. And there we go. It's going to be Aaron into the Yishin with the goal lane here. And now that they pick away the Valentina, there may be a possibility that RNTX might eventually want to go for that classic Sora and the Gatot combination that they usually go for, but still a little bit too early for that. I will have to see the bans though. For no, it's gonna be a pick for Jutsu here. What can be a possible option? Guinevere? No, Oh, Claude very early on.
Yeah, Claude. I mean, obviously, like the carry couldn't come at this moment. It's just the Ishinshin down there, and we have already seen what just happened in the last game. It is I and the creator was on that Claude. The scaling happened in the end. He was literally busting out Toby with the Ishinshin. So this time, the Toby is going for the Claude. This is a good combo, I'll say. And for me, I believe it's a trick from IQRNTX. They deliberately picked that Valentina so that the Sora ban will come. There will be a West on a ban, and Meteor will actually go for a Lapu Lapu or maybe an Alice. That might be the reason. I mean, they're playing with the mind of Team Jutsu Esports at this point. And Jutsu just went for that trap as well. They banned the Sora. Hilda got banned from the side of IQR and TX. There might be a Gatot ban because Abistizi also loves to play that Gatot. Khalid has taken out Kalea too. So Gatot is the only option right now. Other than Gatot, I believe High Loss, it might be a good option as well.
Mm-hmm. But I like the fact that they bend away the Hilda here because, the Hilda can actually be a threat for most of the jungle here, even if it is a Leo mode. And I think they are just trying to, neuter down the amount of heroes that Abyss TZ will be able to play. Interesting enough, Jutsu are the one who actually banned away the Hylos, which I don't think RTX would be going for because the combination doesn't look that well for that too. But it can work if they usually have that kind of combination that can dive and that can also deal out the damage into the backlines here. And the fact that the soul damage dealer and the magic damage dealer for the side of RNTX is a Valentina. I think they might need another magic damage, especially into the XP side. And now RNTX they have one more band to go for. If it's another Roma or a Guinevere, I wouldn't be surprised. But then again, if it's a
I mean, yeah.
Roma, could be
Okay.
we went away
Yeah.
Raren Zero. Intelligent.
You know what brought in to be in his comfort in this decider play, in which you have a match point, of course. You have the confidence, you have the moment for yourself, you can win the game. But at the same time, Cram God, this guy can play the Gatot so well. So now Avistees really want to trade that Gatot to his side, or he wants to give it on to the IQRNTX. I mean, this lineup, IQRNTX lineup, and their roamers loves to play the Gatot Kasha. When it was Kimi in IGN, then Zauzin in IGN, then we see the Crown God in this team of IQRNTX. These guys loves to flex that Gatot. So Easy got the chance to go for the Gatot Kacha. They do have the initiator, but at the same time, they can actually go up with Kaza as well. And you need a pick off for yourself. And currently, you have the dive in, you have the crowd control, you have the burst, you have the high map, and you have the Claude. But you need something into the pickup side as well. So Kaza, what could be better than the Kaza?
That's kind of true here. They can go for the Kaza. But when you see a Yu Zhong, you might want to have an extra frontliner because he can be the one for the drone, and the tank, the Roma, can be the one for the setups that they can follow up with the Yu Zhong. Because because it's kind of nasty to put the Yu Zhong as a sole frontliner here because of course it works, but the drone potential can be taken away if he is the one who will always have to stand into the front. He should be the one who could dive into the backlines most of the time here. So it's gonna be a decider what Abyss TZ will be able to pull it off because still the Gatot is available for him. I don't know if he would want to play it here, but then again, if they play the Gatot, it should be good against the Yishunshin. They kind of need a jungle as well. The
Indeed.
Guinevere can be an option. The Guinevere can be a big option here.
Yeah.
But do they want to go for the Guinevere now, or do they want to prio onto their roam here? Because still, RNTX did not pick away their roam just yet.
I mean, both the teams. From this side, they're really going for that roam and jungle, and from this side, they yet to pick them roam as well as the exp. So in the exp, the Alice is open at this point. You can go for the sustain. Mirio loves to play that Alice, and he gives a totally beautiful setups with a flicker plus Throne of the Ruin combo. So I believe there is a pause going in the draft at this moment. Therefore, it's taking time, and it might be a strategic time or kind of pause, or or maybe a reason that they're having some internet issue. One of the team. So, but at this point, in the roam, what else is open other than the Gatot and Kaza? A chip. You can go up with a chip, but at the same time, it would suit it for the side of IQ RNTX more than the side of Team Jutsu, because look at, there is the Leo mode, there is the Ishan Shin, so you have the easy rotation with the help of the shortcut. So chip might be an option from them. Gatot is open, so it obviously Crime God love to play that Gatot, and there is the like Kaza for the pick off. And other than all these things, you can actually come up with proper something into the invasive like Bakshia, but the Bakshia is banned if I'm not wrong.
Yeah,
Yep,
it is.
Bakshia is banned.
It's always
Oh, no
gonna
Bakshia.
be
Yeah.
no Baksha, no Fredrin for Raren here.
Hmm.
He just have the Guinevere at this point. He don't play the last slot, and I don't think it's even good here. I mean, it can be, but yeah, he don't. Hayabusa doesn't really work with this case
Yeah.
right now against the Leomord, unless
What
he
about the
goes to
Joy?
the street onto the
A Joy
this yeah.
jungle and a Gwynny Roam. Abistizi can come up with a Gwynny Roam as well, nah?
He don't play the Joy, so that can be out of the picture. So the only
Okay.
option that I could actually see was the Guinevere, and it's also good against this com like the Limo in particular. And they already have an answer for the Yi Xunshin because of the Yu Zhong and the Farsa pick here. Now it's better for Jutsu to go for two utilities right now, even especially into the jungle as well. And so there we go. That's gonna be the Gato that we were waiting for. And yeah, now it's gonna be RNTX to decide what combo they usually want to go for, because in this current
Kaza.
RNTX, they usually go for those kind of combination where they can go for the XP to set up and then the
Hmm.
follow up for Crime God. Mirio will be going in the initiator, and then Crime God will be the one with the follow up or even the disengager, and that's what they could go for here. Now that they take away the Gadot, what are the options that are left? Because Cho
Kaza.
Ram got
So, yeah.
he picked the toe though. But hey, there we go. It's
Gwynny.
gonna be
Okay.
the room.
Gwynny Roam.
No
It is
hero,
a
no
Gwynny
hero
Roam.
for Radan. Yeah. Why is Radan gonna break? It is jungle.
Edith Jungle, last option for him. And I was thinking about it. Like, you can come up with that Gwynny as well as the in the EXP. It might could have been a Lapu Lapu or Alice. I told like where Mirio
Oh,
loves
he
to play
did.
heroes.
Oh,
He went for the joy. I won.
nonsense. Okay, okay. I wasn't aware of what he can do. I thought Raren doesn't have a joy in his hero pool. I'm sorry, man. But amazing to see that he pull out the joy now, that they let out onto the damages, onto the magic department part. But hey, they still gonna have the bursty one into the mid side, into the hands of Violet, as well as Raren. Now it's joy, man. I'm pretty excited to see Raren play in this house. But then the fact that RNTX decided to force him to a hero that he's really not that comfortable on kind of says a lot about how they understand the opposing side. And Jutsu, please, they can play this right, because the combination is definitely out there. They have the damage from the first side as well as the Claw. And the follow-up damage from Raden onto that Joy, again, that is definitely going to be a good layering of damage that they have so far right now. But for the side of RNTX, they might be lacking onto the magic department. So let's see how game number 3 will be looking like.
Game number 3, do or die decider for IQ RNTX. I'm sorry, IQ RNTX got the match point. It is decider for the Jutsu, of course, because they're losing out this game. They will be out from this tournament. They will just grab up that third position, and IQ RNTX will just get forward for their first time finale, grand finale option in this MOBA 5v5 community. But for now, Zutsu Esports, as you mentioned, Joy pick from Rarin. We don't oftenly see him with that pick. So obviously, in a do what I said, he's been cornered to a something which is not which he can't rely with. But for now, the Letho with the jungle creep getting added into the option for Rarin, it will be a good start. Else I feel so. But there you go, spatial migration and setup being done. And that was a good damage onto Viola in the early phase of the game.
You know, it's like, you know, the Guinevere, mostly it's underrated into the roaming part. But if you roam again, the rotation is much faster because of because of the special migration you usually have for yourself here. But if you compare the mid clearance with the Gatot as well as a Fursa, of course they're gonna be the one who have the better clearance here. But it should be into their hands whether they are gonna be utilizing their skill to clear it properly, so that they will be able to have a good rotation here so far right now. But RNTX though, you know, they should have a bit more focus onto the XP here because Dark is onto the Yuzhong. If they want to have a win onto the Turtle, Yuzhong must be disabled. He either has to be lowered to the HP or he either has to be denied the level 4. And I think Dark are really doing well with the level 4 that he'll be able to take right now. So that's not going to be that very bad here, but they'll be able to get out the level 4 here. The Turtle is going to be up. Tarian already onto the set and Vit still going to be a little bit late, but they can set it up for themselves here. Look at that.
Is that a rapid boot on that Farsa I just saw? There you go, the Black Dragon for the zone. Feather Airstrike coming from the behind. It will be Rorin with the retribution. Grab up the turtle. First blood secured onto Mirio. Avisteezy will be the one securing that kill. And there you go. Early game setup comes out for the side of Zutsu Esports. 1-0 onto the scoreboard. 1 onto the macro. That's a good start in the duo die, I'll say.
A good start for a duo situation, but then again, Raden with the perfect retribution, that was a good engage right there, and now Zutsu Esports, they will be able to have a good early one here, because now the Lapu Miro is actually down one death, because as an XP liner, you don't want to be down, but hey, Cram?
Okay, that was a little bit of movement coming out from him, but onto the invasing. Okay, that's so good as well from Raurin. He's not even aware of it, and Raurin just take it out and went back with the Rhythm of Joy. Now Sharon is one buff away, that too with a Leo mode, and that too onto a blue buff. So obviously, like, not a good start. Obviously, not a good start for IQR and TX, but they need to scale up. At the same time, the Claude is into the hand of Jutsu, so they will having more scaling up kind of thing. But there you go, a cross map play from the side of IQR and TX. Let's see what will be happening. Rhythm of Joy with the electrifying beast, Phantom Steed being used at this moment. Retribution comes up, and he grab up the red buff
Again.
by himself.
A bit easy though. He's in a position where he tried to give out Toby a lot of gold here. Everyone not anywhere near his turret too. So this is eventually going to be a very good lead here. AOG just for them running away. Cram got now a little bit late to the party. Will not be able to reach on time. But hey, the thing about that rotation coming through from RNTX is definitely amazing here because they do not want to lose on the XP level for these jungles right now, because as a Leo mod, the most potential start for a good Leo mode game is for you to take out their first turtle, and they did lose it out. So you don't want to be behind than you already are. So INTX, they are going to be slowly trying to catch up. But the fact that Zutsu is much more slippery because of the joy, he might eventually have a good farm. Raden, now they are starting onto the turtle again. Abyss does not have the AOZ just yet, so INTX, they can actually manage to start this one for themselves.
Of course, and now the turtle time for the side of Jutsu Esports. They're waiting for it, and Rorin is waiting for the clutch still, I believe. And he can easily do it, as you mentioned, the slippery thing, the Rhythm of Joy. He goes in there, Gatot giving out the zone, Feather Airstrike from Vits this time, the Black Dragon emerging beautifully, zoning out the perfect position. Retribution, Sharon won the turtle this time, but Claude, Toby, onto the kill. He will be finding the kill onto Sharon there. It will be another kill into the scoreboard for Zutsu Esports, but the turtle this time goes out, but into the mid. They're going on to Vish. Can Vish do something? But the Violet trick him with the special migration combo comes in there, and there will be RNTX Mirio going in with the bravest fighter, securing the kill. Dark falls down as well. Rorin and Dark both goes down. And the score got level up. But onto the bot side, Toby, he gotta find the structure there. Trade after trade for both these sides, but I believe it is RNTX who's not having that much trade against Jutsu at this moment. But the AOG from Avisteezy, he went for the step, but Aaron will be the one finding the kill into there. Feather Airstrike, bitch, goes for the IMU. Used the Feather Airstrike and just managed to take Viole back into the position. Phantom Steed once again comes up. Does he find the red? He finds the raid! Another invade for Sharon.
Definitely, that is the compensation that they want right now. The top lane already taken down, as well as the bottom lane. They're losing one of their turret here, so yeah, they were just trying to equalize onto this goal lead that they have so far. But right now, still, It's a 50-50 onto the goal here. Raden still rich
Yeah.
onto the items as well. He's level 9, but he did lose out on his red buff. So when Terran is done with the buff that he has so far, I think it's going to be a bit ahead in comparison to Raden here. So this is finally good for a Leo mode right now. But Cram God, I think he's got to be careful here. The early game Guinevere is not really one of the tankiest one. So he's kind of need at least one item to have that tankiness that he's needed here. But the position is looking very good. He's gonna be giving out a vision though. He's just gonna away, not going for the engages just yet.
But still, about the structure, it is also 50-50. They just got find to structure onto the top, so do the jutsu onto the bottom. At the same time, if you're going to talk about the jump from the Gatot into that mid, it was just to save the mid tier as well. But in that process, he finds himself out as well. Cram God just went for the zone into the burst. Before that, the total dance already started from Zutsu Esports. We're going to see a contest. Mirio coming in. The zone comes up with the help of the Mountain Shocker. Now there will be the engage, and it will be a turtle slane coming out from Rara and Rhythm of Joy. He's getting cornered by Mirio, but now Mirio is inside the 4 members. He somehow finds his way back with the help of the expanding river. Now the Feather Airstrike comes up. Can he find the kill onto the Mirio? No, he couldn't. But somehow he managed to clear out the lane here into the mid, and now they're gonna put the pressure on the top as well. Look at Toby.
Yep, he's gonna be a rich boy right now after he comes out of the lane, and that's gonna. Oh wait, jump!
No. He doesn't have a BMI. Can he sustain? No, he can't. Toby falls down. Follow-up comes from Abistizi, but doesn't matter. He finds Toby. But Toby, before going, he finds the structure as well. He somehow... I mean, I thought like when you use the BMI, you should have went back. I think he couldn't anticipated Cram God there. Okay, another fight coming in. 2v1 situation. Avistizi can't sustain this fight. Cram God and Aaron will be the one settling the score at this moment, taking on to a lead. And once again, they're going for the red buff zoning. Okay, the special migration popped onto the Rorin. And he doesn't have the Rickham, so obviously he doesn't went for the engage.
Toby, it was kind of weird enough that he did not use the Purify there when he got jumped upon. And now with him being dead, I think it's definitely going to be a bad thing right now, because when they are equalized onto the goal, it was amazing to see that the Claw finally doing well into the laning as well, into the goal too. And now that even the Yishin is still 0 deaths, Aaron will be having much of a better farm in comparison to the Claude here. But never mind, he's definitely going to be still out there. Okay, that's a 1k goal deficit here for Aaron. It's not 1k, it's around 100. Okay, that's definitely equal. But almost a trinity for the Claude here right now, so he definitely needs a bit of a time here to try to go for a bit more farm so that he'll be able to resist that is required for the team as well. Because I feel like Zutsu here, they are playing for Toby, right? They should be playing for Toby here, because late game is what they want to go for here, and they need that damage too. And the fact that the Yishin is still it's actually behind him, he's doing good even with the one that's down the line though. The law is already up though. Abyss is just trying to scout around the corner here to see whether he can dodge them away or see what they are gonna do here, because Irontex, they are trying to start onto this Lord, but I don't think they will be pressing it though.
Oh, inside the backside, look at it! It will be that special migration onto Dark with the Violet Rickham coming. Follow-up has been there from Violet, but the damage is not that much efficient. And it will be a kill onto the Dark. No EXP laner available for this Lord. And it will be maybe an uncontested Lord if just Rarin can barge in with the... Okay, he went in for the Rhythm of Joy, but the Retribution. Sharon onto the point. He grabbed up the Lord. He falls down to the head of Rarin. Now the team going in. Toby finds on a kill onto RNTX. Mirio there. And now the whole RNTX squad is going back into the safer side. But in the meantime, Toby finds a tier into the mid, expanding the lane into the mid as well. So the Lord, it goes into the hand of IQ RNTX. Somehow, I'll say Jutsu won the trade.
I think Law is so much. I mean, it's better for them to take out the Law here, but they did lose out a lot of members there, so it will be easily cleared away by the side of Jutsu. They even take out onto the mid side, so that can eventually be their start here. Somehow, in this series, for the first time, Jutsu is kind of looking good. They have a good start to the game. They have their comfort picks into their hands. They are usually doing the thing that they've been doing for a long time, and now they are showing signs of life here. And this time around, our antics are actually gonna be playing it very safe here, because a one ton, if they get caught, Toby and even Violet will be able to burst anyone down, because that is a Freya and a clock combination we are talking about here. But I think Terran is onto something here. He loved that red buff, don't he?
But he's always there onto that red buff side though. But to Purify, okay, he went for the special migration from the behind. There will be the featherweight strike as well. Zoning coming out from the dragon. Dark goes in, double petrify, and there you go. AOG! He forced the footprints, but Fitch couldn't survive. He just goes down. Now the rhythm of joy with the electrifying bits comes in. God, he will be getting down there. Another structure falling down from the bottom. It is really a macro play coming out from Zutsu Esports at this moment. They're literally getting all those structures. But on to the top, the minions will get the MVP. They will be getting that tier as well. It's somehow the cross play into the map. But if you're going to talk about the gold, it is moreover Zutsu. They got the 2k goal lead because of the micro they just secured during the team fight. Another one. He's going to the backside. Mirio is being chunked down at this moment. He went for the British fighter. Not at all a good idea. Not at all a good idea. The 4 member were waiting for you. And there was the featherweight strike, and he just got busted down by Violet.
Oh, he's gonna be spotted out though, runner. That was a great position to be in. Of course, he's gonna be spotted out. But I think that was unnecessary of Mira to do that. You know, it could have been a survival for him if he was able to jump away with the Brave Violet. But I'm pretty sure he wasn't aware that Violet would be around the corner. Yeah, that was a little bit too far for the mates to be in. But hey, you know, sometimes the unexpected can happen, and that can be the better situation for the opposing side here. And Zutsu finally, they're doing very, very good. The amount of kills that they have been able to get so far, and the amount of gold that they have, it's actually giving them a goal lead here. Iron takes, they were looking very good into the early stage of the game. They were actually winning now, but then again, gold lane is what happened. But bottom lane though,
Special migration, Valedricum, and they will be managing to secure a kill onto Raren just before the Lord. They don't have the retreat holder at this moment. They will be going for the Lord directly, and there will be no contest, but there might be some hindrance from this Gatot or Dark. They might not go for it, but there is that. Look at this, which finds that AOG into his hand. And not only that, okay, the Black Dragon comes in. Retribution from Karen. Easy Lord comes up for IQ RNT. The Phantom Seed being used for the defense. But there is the double petrify. AOG being used by Witch. He went back into the safer side. But there is Crime God going in with that special migration. And Sarin is going for the contest. But then with the featherweight strike, Toby finds the kill onto Sharon. Not only that, the red buff will be going our way as well. Once again, it's like the Lord comes into the hand of Team IQ RNTX, but they lost one kill as well. Toby is getting the kill though.
yeah, he got the red buff and he already got the malefic gun as well. So Toby is a definitely farm dude here. If he wants to go in now, I think the damage will be definitely enough to take anyone down from the side of RNTX. He just need a good setup, a good opportunity, a good distraction here. Another Lord taken care of by Ronan again onto the top lane side. Nothing much that they can do about it right now, but yeah, the build coming in, that's going to be a Divine Glaive already for the Joy here. He's going to be able to get out those penetration in. But Cram God, hey, that is a Holy Crystal for a room Guinevere here. But look at the jump!
Okay, there was the fight. Cram God, he goes down, as well as Dark gonna chase down the 2 members of IQ RNT. Sharon goes back. His blue buff will be getting our way at this moment. And look at this. This is the thing I was talking about. When you have a Claude into your lineup, you know the late game will be falling into your hand as well. But now it's just Raren. If he gonna secure down those lots and macro objectives, then the things will be a little bit better. But now the Mountain Shocker release. Raren in a very bad position. Use the rhythm of flash. He can't survive. The last hit. The final blow comes from Aaron, the creator. The god is signing at this moment. Raren falls down. But in the meantime, Toby, the rich guy, the man who is trying his best to take Zutsu Esports into the 4th game, securing all the 2nd tier towers from each and every lane, putting that lane pressure onto IQ RNTX at this moment.
Yep, he's farming everything and every goal into that lane. Both of the lanes by far, and that is definitely in favor for a Claude here. He already... Oh, wait, Cram?
Okay, they went for another fight though, but Mountain Shocker, it will be a hindrance for Dark. I thought like Dark might gonna caught into the hand of Aaron the Creator, but he's kind of sustained at this point. But again, the Lord is coming, and before the 2 Lords, Debbie, it is into the hand of IQ RNTs. One, they took it with a 50-50 retreat battle. They won it, Sharon won it. And second one, the retreat holder was not available in the Land of Dawn. So now the third one, if they can take it down, then it might be a little bit, you can say, they will be in a comfort zone. But if they couldn't, they are right now not in a good state of turrets, if you will actually see in the map.
That's what Cram got, though. He's just trying to find a little bit of a pickup onto the bottom lane here. But with the magic damage that he's already built up, I think it's going to be very, very squishy. He might be in need of that Winter Truncheon if you want to get Toby caught here. But the fact that Violet and Toby both they are on the Purify make it so much harder to be caught now. But the thing he can do right now is that bait out those Purify so that Nero can jump in and eventually Terran can do it too. And the fact that they are still trying to go for the Lord and his position is onto the backline here kind of made it hard for Zutsu to go in because they don't know where RNTX are. They are lost into the map. Only Terran and Miro is seen. Even Aaron can go in a little bit later because that's how Yishin comes through, right? He can go in only when the resources are already wasted. He's gonna be able to clear out to the mid lane here, but they cannot really engage because, like I said, Kremgod he's missing. They don't know where the Gunove is, and they cannot really start anything without his presence. And the fact that he also have the flicker, look at that.
Ramdor, he went for the engage. AOG from Witch as well. Killing spree coming out from Violet. Sharon fights the kill after dark, but RNTX Mirio falls down there. It is Sharon in a very bad position. He might get caught down at this point. Look at Toby's damage. AOG follow up and he will get cutting into the way. Abasteezy 1v1, but there will be the chase on to Sharon at this moment. It is IQ RNTX who are going back, and Zutsu Esports will having the Lord for free at this moment. This is impeccable, I will say. But look at it. Something happening. A shutdown onto Violet. Rane trying his best to take down the Lord, and he will be getting it as well. But that gamble coming out for IQ RNTX doesn't went good for them. They got some kills, though. But the Lord goes into the hand of Zutsu Esports. But that last one, Violet, you shouldn't come for the taking that bush. It should be Dark or Abasteezy.
Actually, it's kind of amazing that you don't really know where you're going to be predicting the players to come in and run. Who would have thought that he will be still there when all his teammates and all his frontliners die right there? And Tyrion, he's hella tanky, man. He's onto the Hunter Strike right now, so he might eventually be onto the War Axe. That's going to be a good combination that can come to as well. And I think he's on the wings that make him survive onto that Lord fight. But the fact that he did, Lord, he wasn't able to get started. The Lord kind of did RNTX put in a very bad position here. The initiation was good, but Cram, he wasn't that tanky. But AOZ again?
Okay, AOG, but Sharon, he should not go for that 1v4 situation. Nobody was there to give him the follow-up before the Lord, and that's too. He couldn't go for the Lord to take out the Lord at that time, though. It was totally a waste at this moment. But from the mid and from the bottom, the waves are coming in, and the meteor is about to fall. The Lord slamming onto the top. Nexus open from mid and top. The Black Dragon coming in. They just need to lock down the base. This is the lane pressure, lane management from Zutsu Esports from the starting. They're giving the pressure at this point. They went for the fight. AOG from Witch. He went for the engage, but this will be a disengage coming in. They're locking down the castle, and the castle will fall down here with the lane pressure. It is Team Zutsu Esports grabbing up a point for them and coming into the next game, game number 4. IQR and TX, they're yet to win the whole set for them. I mean, totally, you saw that thing, what happened. Toby is the GOAT for this game, I'll say, because look at from the very beginning, that guy was not indulging into the team fight. He was so much interested into those turrets. And in the end, the turrets gave you the win because macro is the main thing in this game, not the micro. You'll have 100 kills, but in the end, whoever gonna give that crystal out from the base will be the winner. And this is Zutsu Esports for you. Make their comeback in the third game, taking the game into the number 4. Debbie, what do you think? The Ishenshin pick, or the giving out that Claude into their hand, or the Joy?
I don't have a problem about the draft actually. It's the way they were executing it so well. It just started a lot of fire though. And the fact that finally Toby on a Claude, which is a hero that he's very comfortable on, and it is a marksman, by the way. He's able to find the right targeting, and then he was able to find out a good farm for himself as well, farming 2 lanes once in a while. Definitely a good sign here. He wasn't able to have those 2 until that first 2 games where RNTX were so keen on shutting him down. And this time when he's let go, he's definitely very farmed here. And you know what? As a roamer, Abyss getting out their MVP is definitely a deserved one because look at the damage taken. It's 40%. He's taking half of the team's damage there, and he's just tanking it just like a good tank, a good roamer with the revitalize as well. And he was always there with a good John coming through. He did not let Toby die. He was giving him a lot of gold into that laning phase as well. The gold plating was just milked out by Toby. And then again, Aaron was actually behind just because of that. And yeah, the fact that they did lose out to a lot of turtle too kind of played an important part. But hey, the sets that's been made with the AOC was amazingly well done. And I think Dark has been shut down a lot of times. But then he usually is able to survive and come back and go into those team fights because of the presence of Abyss TG onto the Gartot, and then the follow-up to always been done by Toby. Yeah, he already got the damages. And even in that last fight, we could see right onto that Lord fight, Toby was actually running from behind, and then no one was able to catch him. He was dishing out a lot of damage and forcing Aaron and Vitz, two of the damage dealer, to go back.
You got the Purify, you got the BMI, so obviously that sneaky picky kind of gameplay comes out from Toby, obviously. But at the same time, I believe IQ RNTX was not having that much sustain. The Guinevere was there in the roam. So I believe Mirio could have gone with the Alice. And the Alice matchup with a Yuzong is kind of good. So why not an Alice into the EXP? Why a Lapu Lapu? I know you are comfort with the Lapu Lapu, but you do play Alice good. At the same time, you went for the Valentina mid. And for the all these times, they don't have that magic burst if you'll actually see. And that's the main reason. Like, which was getting the ultimate, but from whom? He was getting the ultimate from the Abyss-TZ, the AOG. He was not cupping out that feather airstrike. And so that's the main reason. Like the Viole and Claude, nobody was there to grab up the backline, or even Charin was going for some fights in which his team is not getting that follow up. I mean, he was not getting that follow from his team. That's what I'm saying. But in the end, it is Zutsu Esports. Obviously, what a game comes up from them. Like from the very beginning of the game, they looked after the tiers. They secured all those tiers, and in the end, when the Lord comes in, I told you, like if the Lord goes anyhow into the hand of Zutsu Esports, they might gonna end the game because they have the lane advantage. They already clear out those tier 2. And I don't know why Sharon went for that fight. Like he could have been there in the Lord defense, but he just went for the fight and he lost the resources. And with him, not only him, his teams also lost the resources before the Lord. And when the Lord comes into your base, you really lacking a member, and so do the resources. So he couldn't defend the base. And Toby, that man, he was intent to clear up all those structures, all those tiers, and the base. He was locking down everything. Even at that moment onto the top, if you remember that Violet Trick and special migration with Aaron following up, that guy literally gave up his life for that tier 1. So obviously his intent was to give that intense push in this game, and you got the result, so why not?
That's right. Amazingly well done by Toby here. But hey, let's see. The drafting is going to be starting here again. That was a game number 3 power for Zutsu. They usually come back in game number 3, man. I don't know how, but they always did manage to do it. Their mentality is definitely strong. Looking at the ban so far, though, Zutsu Esports, they banned away Valentina. For the first time, we see a Valentina first phase ban from Zutsu. I mean, that is Rich's comfort here because he's always actively picking out their hero, very available on time. But okay, they removed out the Claude here and the color and with the Valentina and the Freya as well. And now onto the other side, Jutsu, not Jutsu, RNTX, they banned away the Jushin, the Baxia, of course, and then the Grok as well. So first pick, the Yishin is available, but so is the Kalea, the Hilda, or even the Yuzong, because Jutsu, they first picked that Yuzong, it did work out, but do they want to go for it again? Because they can let go of a Yuzong if they can let go, if they can pick up the Yuzong. But no, okay, no more.
And it is really a flex. You can actually take a clearance during IQ RNTX matchup. When they're picking up the Ishanchin, it is going in the hand of Aaron, no doubt. But here, Toby can also use that Ishanchin. Raren loves to play that Ishanchin, so it's totally a flex from Jutsu. But Debbie, do you remember the last game? The Grok was banned or open?
It was banned, no? It was.
It was banned, so it's fine. I just thought like Grok was open or banned. This was banned. But it's kind of a same matchup this time. Trade. like the last game, IQ RNTX picked the Ishin Shin. Jutsu went for that Yuzong Farsa. This time,
Yeah.
Yuzong Farsa into IQ RNTX, and that Ishin Shin into the hand of Raren or Toby. Not so sure. But at this
Yeah.
moment, Ratot Kacha, are you really want to give it out to Cram God, or you want to pick it up for yourself?
I don't know if they would want the Gatot here. But then again, if they don't prio on the Abyss hero, then again, they might eventually, let it out just a little bit. I would like to see them flex this Yushin up to the very last. But then if it means that it might be into the hands of Toby or Raren again, it kind of become a big factor because it helps out into the ban phase a lot. So now they went for the Gatot and the Lapu. So this is another comfort for Dark. So it's gonna be Lapu versus a Yuzhong. Again, very good here. But RNT, this is gonna be Guinevere the second time around and directly ban onto Raren's pocket pick. This is Raren's
Obviously, like they're
okay.
gonna ban the Fedrin as well. The fifth ban will be
Yeah.
onto the Fedrin. They got the Guini, they will banning the Fedrin. They already banned the Vakshia, Akai as well. So obviously, I mean, they really wants to let Rarin pick that Edith or corner him to get the joy. And in the end,
Mm.
I'd love to gonna see him onto that Ling as well. He loves to play the Ling. So
No.
obviously, in the off meta, Ling might gonna come Granger into the ban list. That is the huge respect
Whoa.
towards the creator, of course. And the last man coming in, will it be a Fedrin? No, it is a Lucas.
Lucas, okay. They're kind of forcing him to play out the Fredrin, I suppose. But then again, yeah, he brought out the joy. I did not expect him to bring out the joy, and he did really well onto that hero as well. So we'll never know what this guy is capable of. First of all, RNTX though, they are gonna be picking here. Most of the marksmen are actually gone. The CC is still available though. But then even the Grand is gone. There's not a big option that they could go for here into the gold lane side. So either they still flex the Guinevere here or pick the Leomord as a jungle again for Charin. But hey, Charin does play the Fanny though, right? So he can play the
See,
Fanny still. Oh, I want him to the Fanny. I want him on a Fanny, but the CC is much more prio here actually because they're gonna be losing a lot of options into the gold lane side if the CC is let go again.
again, this is a flex. Aaron can go for that use on goal, CC into the hand of Mirios, of course. But this CC pick is
No.
totally onto the point. Harith might be the option. No, no, no. Viole is going for that Paramis with the Edith jungle into the hand of Rarin. His flex. He could have gone up. He could have come up with that Fedrin, but no, he's coming up with the Edith jungle here. With I was really thinking, Debbie, like my mind was literally rotating behind the Zetian, the Eve, but Eve was not there because the Yuzong is already picked up, so Eve should have been not into the mind. But Kimi, Lunox, as well as this Zetian, this three could have been the thing. And Zetian and Kimi could have been the better thing with the Gatot Kacha, like the Traction Pulse and Fury of the Phoenix would have been worked as an initiator for the Gatot's AOG. But no, they're coming up with okay.
Convert.
What is this? What is this?
It
Novaria
is a
Gold?
Novaria. Novaria into the hands of Cram God. So
Okay.
they are gonna be lacking a bit onto the frontliner, but they do have a setup from Charin, and I'm pretty sure this should be a tank. Guinevere, of course, the concentrated, and now there's gonna be a bit of lacking into the magic department for the side of Zutsu Esports here, but they do have the edits, which is a very weird jungle. Only Raren plays these edits in Indian server, by the way. So I'm pretty sure this should be dependent on how the execution goes on again because this can be the lifesaver for Zutsu or if RNTX. They are still into the match point. I'm excited to see this one.
I've seen an M5, a Kadita into the Rome, and I know what happened after that. So obviously this Novaria coming into the Rome. When we saw that Novaria into the hand of Eden when the Tartarus was rising and they lost to LCF. But I really don't love a Novaria. But as per the utility wise, as per the vision wise, you have a good pick for your side. And with the vision, obviously, like Sharon gonna have more plus point with that Gwynny. So obviously how this thing goes, but towards the sustain, Debbie, they're really
Yeah.
lacking on it. So survivability is kind of tilting towards Jutsu Esports at this moment. So in the proper 5v5 fights, they might gonna lose out that battle. Even the turtles as well, because you don't have a proper roamer who can zone out, who can take those hits on himself. So obviously you're gonna not gonna give that proper zoning for your jungler. So it will be
The fact
a little bit impossible for the jungler to actually trade off those macro objectives.
the fact that they pick out the Faramis when there is a Yuzhong already does is a lot because they are going to be coming up together, and then the Black Dragon arrives, and then it's going to be a pretty fine combination. That is definitely going to be a deadly one too. But yeah, it's going to be the decider, right? If the Yuzhong goes first, then yeah, Violet can be like, yeah, I can use my Nether Realm to the later part. But Tarin, look at the jump.
Okay, early game aggression. First blood for Red. The goat in the mid. Secured the first blood. And it will be Abysteezy once again falling down. This time with a Gatot catch-up for real. And there you go. Aaron going for the lane cut. He's in a very bad position. Range has popped up as well. Yo-Yo is giving the reason. But there will be the 1v1 situation. One hit. It will be Toby onto that Ishan Shin. Aaron, the creator, got punished for the overextension. Now the flicker comes up. The Black Dragon zoning as well. Dark going for the bravest fighter. Got 2 man into the hand. Nubaria got the back. There will be the special migration for the defense from the behind. Viola coming in. Flicker views. And it will be Sharon falling down with the retribution. Raren got the turtle there. Easy one. What just happened? Trade after trade. Skirmish after skirmish. And this is Jutsu Esports with a 2-1. The shot comes in though. Okay, calm down. He was about to get his hand.
Amazingly well done, Zutsu. That was a good start to avoid. And the fact that Aaron got solo kill by Toby, Toby, man, there was a flicker he already committed. Even with the vengeance, he was able to take him down. And the fact that they got the turtle, they got a lot of kills. Tarin got taken down, and there wasn't any compensation that RNTX were able to find here. Cram God, yeah, that is a rumor without the crowd control here. Every crowd control sets will be dependent on Tarin, and the follow-up will be dependent on Miro here. So this is why, usually when you see a Yuzong, you might want an extra initiator. Yeah, that will be coming in handy. But hey, they have a Navaria with a lot of reasons, so they might be able to pull something off here. But that is going to be an XP crap taken away by Dark, so he's definitely going to be having a good lead. But a lot of reason here. Cram got just shooting here and there into the jungle, just trying to keep out the vision.
Indeed, but now another set coming in there. There will be the Astral Echo. And with that, the pilot through Kim popped up. Abysteezy falls down. There will be the follow from Mirio. Got his hand on to Viola. 2 men down once again. IQ RNGX back on the track. They got through 2 kills. And now they just got the lead onto the score. It's a 50-50 matchup, I'm telling you, Debbie. One time you're going to see IQ RNTX. Then you're going to see Jitsu back.
We are yet to see a Dith, right? A Raren into all of those fights. But it's understandable though, because he's gonna be needing all those ones that he need the items for. And then, I really want to see what he's gonna be going for either. But jumped again, bot lane.
After set, special migration after special migration, and now it will be Sharon. As well as Mirio's combo onto Dark, but onto the top side, there was the cross-map play coming in. The vengeance popped up from Aaron, the creator. He's trying the yo-yo blaze. He got the region though, but there is the second skill coming in. Onto the turtle side, the Black Dragon comes up as well. The zone coming in. There is the feather strike from Vish. The turtle is getting in zone. Okay, look at Raren. He's at a sliver of HP at this moment. He might go for that primal wrap. He went in. There is the double petrify combo from Mirio. It's targeting down. The shot comes in from the behind by Crime God, and there you go. Raren falls down. Vish got the kill into his hand. Mirio falls down as well. Dark finds the kill. There is the rotation, double kill onto Crime God, triple kill onto Sharon. Dark bringing the darkness on IQ RNTX. The moment they were about to get the turtle, the rotation comes from the top by Toby, and then it's just got ended into the Jutsu straight.
Wow, Toby, he's doing everything this game because the rotation is so fast that everyone isn't able to catch up. This is a fast-moving Yi Xin that we're talking about. He got the turtle, he got a flicker kill, and he wasn't even focused on going for the tanks. He just directly focused onto the backline, and that is a lot of damage he's already have right now. So RNTX, they need to focus a little bit onto the Yi Xin first so that they will be able to shut him down before it gets too out of hands, because we know Yi Xin requires that early game, and when he have that early game, the amount of damage that he can dish out cannot be handled most of the time. And how will you stop that? Because he's gonna have to be shut down by Wits here, and he's always gonna have to be focused on by the side of Orientix. But the fact that he's always late to the party means that every resources is already wasted out, and he's always ready to go in whenever needed. And the fact that he have the CCTV, let's say, the altar, the mountain stalker, always giving him a vision. He's so safe that he's just, not taken down that easily.
Of course, and like Debbie, at this moment, I believe the Novaria pick is kind of waiting out those kills for the side of IQ RNTX, because you don't have that
Yeah.
much sustain, and that's the reason you're falling down in the team fights. You need that sustain, and but now what you can do, you already picked it up, Sharon. Once again, he waiting for the setup, but somehow Violet finds his way back into the safer side as well. But onto the top, there might be a gank onto Aaron, the creator, at this point. He is getting zoned out by 3 members, and he anticipated it so well. But the tier falls down. Toby once again taking down all those structures for himself. Dark give a beautiful rotation, and now they're high onto the structure. But into the mid side, a little bit of fight coming in. There is the Mirio going in with the Black Dragon. Oh my goodness, another airstrike. Violet got chunked down by Witch, as well as the turtle coming in. They need to take this turtle for them. Currentix is trying though, but look at that. Abyss goes in for the taunt. In the meantime, we're gonna see Dark gonna go in for the Bravest Fighter, but the retribution Charin finds the turtle into his hand. Not only that, you're gonna see the Bravest Fighter. Mirio is still available in the map, but Wings by Wings, big news. Talon falls down. Abyss will be getting the slain onto him. Mirio, okay. Mirio was trying something though. And the creature, they forced out him to take down that resource of vengeance, of course.
Wow. Toby with the flicker ult, that was amazingly well done. He's managed to get down the jungle. He managed to take down Terran again, and that's definitely going to be a good sign. I think he got the stun into the perfect target here. He would have been better if he was the one who will get the last hit, but now RNTX, they're going to be struggling just a little bit, but a good setup has always been made by Mirio onto the dragon. But the follow-up department kind of lags out a little bit here because of the lack of card control that they have right now. Tarin is the only one that they have to be dependent on, and he's been making all the sets that's needed. But then again, the amount of damage that Zutsu have for themselves is enough to outlast whatever RNTX throws in their way. And now Toby with the perfect farm, he's still so easily farming, very sleek onto the Yi Xin and Raren onto the top side, trying to send out a little bit of minion here, forcing RNTX to break off their composition here. And right now Zutsu, they are doing so good with the farm. They have 2k gold lead right now.
Of course, and for now, they will be pacing off the pace, pacing off the moment for them. But I believe and the creator, he really needs in the team fight. He's not joining any team fight. He's being down for one time, but there you go. Violet getting targeted again and again by those spatial migration. Mountain Shocker follow-up comes in. Violet, he goes down there. And there is a little bit of pause coming in. Okay. It might be an internet issue. We will figure it out soon. But Debbie, at this point, Adam the creator, he's not giving out that much participation in those team fights.
That might eventually come, a bit might be the downside for RNTX picking up a non-late game hero and losing out onto the lane as well. And I think it's kind of hard to see that SCC losing out onto the lane, especially when he is the one trying to be into the aggressor side. Yeah, it hurts. It's hurting RNTX now because we can see Toby. There's no one who can. It's only gonna be Mirio. Either Tarin lands that spatial migration, but then again he's gonna be too far behind. That is a jungle going away without that flicker. It's gonna be very hard to reach the backlines here, especially a Yi Xin who doesn't show himself around the map unless he's clearing the lane, and that's it. He doesn't appear. He doesn't go into the team fights that early. He's gonna come from the backside slowly, and then only when he sees that the resources has been wasted all upon, he will be going in with the ult, and then that definitely always be the executioner, right? He always go for the last damage dealing, and then it kind of become easy for Zutsu to maneuver for Toby, as for RNTX, they go all in, and after they are done with one Black Dragon, everything is done for them. They can't last long in those team fights.
Indeed, and now I believe like Team IQ RNTX, they can do something that is giving out some kills to Iron the Creator, or maybe some sets to him as well. Because that guy was literally ignored from the very beginning. You took all the fights in the EXP lane, and Mirio got the farm though. But now you need to see the goal laner as well, because somehow, which is not the thing. Because obviously, as you mentioned before, Debbie, like a
Yeah.
CC should be the counter of the Ishin Shin. He should have won that lane, but no, it is not happening. It is the Ishin Shin who is right now having more spike than the CC. And apart from that, Cram God, that guy is on to that Novaria. So you don't have the sustain. You are going for full phase vision with the Astralico, but at the same time, you need the sustain. Who will be in the front line? Charon as well as Mirio. Mirio is on the dragon, so he will be going on the back line. He will be diving into the back line. So it's just Charon for you. And if
Yeah.
you're getting the setups with the special migration plus the curtain coil, it will be more efficient for Witch to actually carry out the damage onto them and to clear out some kills for them as well.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's there's too much for Muriel to handle right now because he have many things to do on his plate. He either have to focus on going for those big stats onto the card control, or he either has to go onto Toby. I think the latest should be much better, but then again, Toby is so hard to find. He's so sleek. He's been playing hide and seek the whole game. He's just out there when he needs that farm, and then when he thinks he's in a very weak position, he usually just use out the mountain circle that reveals everything, every positioning that RNTX have right now. But yeah, even Kremgon, even with the snipes that he has been doing so far, hasn't been able to dish out the damages. It's all into the hands of Witch. Witch should be the one who should be able to reach out the backlines on to the Yi Shin. But for that, you need to get Toby getting stunned, because that is going to be the sole purpose here. If he's not getting stunned, if he's not getting caught, no way that he's going to be dying now, because you have the Flicker as well as the Dauntless team. That's definitely going to be helping him quite a lot into those team fights.
Yeah, but now the pause is getting resume and we are into the game. Now everything is on to Sharon, because you know, like what is happening. You need the retribution onto that Lord. If Rauren captures this Lord for him, but before that, Dark went for the zone out, as well as Mirio retribution. Rauren got the Lord there, but now 1v4 situation. Shutdown happened to Dark there. It is Aaron the Creator onto the kill. He will miss the shot, the Cram God. AOG for the defense, but Avesti is in a very bad position. Will be caught the way. Rauren falls down. Sharon with the ward. Avesti as well. Rauren takes Mirio, slain him down. 3-man for IQ RNTX with the trade. They got the Lord though. It's just the recap of the last game. IQ RNTX was getting the Lord. Kills has been taken on by Zutsu, and this time it will be IQ RNTX who are having the 3 kills. They were about to bust down by Ole, but somehow he managed to flicker out at the perfect time, and it will be an easy defense on the Lord.
Yeah, the fact that Toby still survived onto that long team fight definitely says a lot about the position that he was in. Look at the build so far. That's gonna be a lot of damage into the hands of Violet right now, but for Witch as well, he's got the Lightning Truncheon as well as the anti-heal too. That's definitely gonna be doing a lot for the team too. But first onto the hands of Guinevere here, so that's gonna be another tankiness as well as the damage that's gonna be stacking up so far right now. But the fact that Toby already got the BOD does say a lot about the build that he already have. He's gonna be hurting quite a lot. He can get a solo kill onto Witch right now, but hey, Witch is still 0 deaths down. He will be able to, zone them out. But hey, look at the damage though.
Yo-Yo Blaze and went for the zone there, but he will not find anything for him. At the same time, Debbie, this game is literally, you can say, 50-50 from the start, but for now, IQRO, he got the retreat.
He didn't. He didn't.
He went for the invade and he couldn't do that though. I mean, Hedith got the retribution at the time, but he tried it. He tried it from himself somehow. But for now, in the mid, you need to pressurize just like the last game. The work from Toby was totally in the way. Shineko comes from there. Oh, Feather Airstrike, high ground. But nothing going to happen. It's just clear out those waves from the mid. Now they will be waiting for it. And this is a good thing, Debbie. Like, you really want to play the defense. You don't want to go for unnecessary fights to trade them some gold. But at the same time, you need some structures as well. Because last time it was Toby who just managed to grab up those structures, and in the end, the lane pressure was literally insane from Zutsu.
You know, the fact that Aaron, he was able to get a lot of damage, but hey, top lane, maybe solo? Nah, that's already a petrify wasted by Meteor there. He's 3-1-4, but he's still definitely going to be okay. But bot lane, Aaron, you've got to be careful, man. He might get caught.
Not only the Petrify, but also the Black Dragon. But what just happened off cam onto the Lord Zone? It is Witch with the Feather Airstrike. 3v1. Viole once again getting busted down. This guy is literally getting targeted this time by IQRNTX. Not have a single chance into the team fights to use his Nether Realm as well. But now the Lord coming in. They don't have the Viole. They might gonna go come for the contest with Dark here. Raurin, he does have the Primal Wrath. But there will be the zone from Cramgod as well from behind. It is the extension coming in. Toby into the way. Cramgod goes behind. There is the Feather Airstrike. But it will be getting cancelled out with the Bravest Fighter. But look at that special migration into the way. Okay, he goes back. The whole team of IQRNTX reset the Lord. They goes back as well. But what just happened? Raurin finds the Lord for himself. And not only that, the Mountain Shocker release. Sliver of HP. He can't do anything. He just danced around there. And Toby finds the final blow onto the Gwynny. Mountain Shocker release as well. IQRNTX need to go back. Need to defend this Lord. And there you go. The Feather Airstrike comes in for the clearance of the wave. But Avisteezy gonna taunt him out. But he gonna get taunted back as well. Because Aaron the Creator, he comes in with a Yo-Yo Blaze. The minion waves coming in. The cannon minion into the tier 2. They're trying to take it down as well. There is the shot comes in. But tier 2 into the mid will be falling down. One more reason to say that they are again putting the pressure onto the lane. Lord marching onto the top, slammed onto the inhibitor. There is the Astrolaco comes in, but in the meantime, you're gonna see the Yo-Yo Blaze taking out the zone, and they're trying to defend the Lord, and they will be doing it. But do you think with this Lord, with his Mega Minions, Jutsu gonna find some inhibitors for them?
They can be easily cleared out because of our NTX here, because of Witch here. But hey, that was amazingly well done by Toby, I would say, because onto the start of the team fight, because the Lord was up. Everyone was ready for the side of RNTX, but then Toby comes in with the Mountain Stroker. He was able to disrupt where Witch was, because he's going to be the sole damage dealer there. He have a lot of damage there. If he drops one artillery onto Toby, he was already going to be a goner. So why not be the one who initiated onto that fight? And this is what he did. And when Witch was low, they all backed off, because RNTX know that they will not be able to win that fight without the presence of Witch, without the presence of Versa. He is definitely going to be needed onto this, and Jutsu also knows that kind. So why not disrupt the position of the Farsa and let them back away? And they did exactly what they wanted to do there, getting out a lot of turrets into the top side, into the mid side as well. And only the inhibitor is left for the side of RNTX right now, and everyone is very healthy for Zutsu. They are tanking a lot. They won't die that easily, especially Toby. Mirio did an attempt onto the top lane with the Petrify as well, but he wasn't able to do so. So now it's very problematic. They have to have at least 2 ultimates to take this hero down, and Toby, he's not going to be getting caught anytime soon.
Cramgod just got down for one time, which unkillable at this point. So it's more like you cannot reach those two, you can say those 2 mages for now.
Yeah.
But Dark, he managed to cancel out the ultimate during that, the Feather Airstrike during that Lord fight, which helps them to grab up the Lord as well. So next time, I believe Mirio or Aaron, one of them should go for the zone, for the, you can say the front line, for the front line thing. If both of them will try to go for attack or maybe the setup, then they're not going to get the Lord. It might be a 50-50 retreat battle, but they might not gonna get the Lord because Sharon will not have the proper zoning for the Lord. That is what happening in the last 2 Lords. But now, 3rd Lord into the map. Before that, you're gonna see the perfect position coming out from the side of IQRNTX.
Yep, it's going to be needed that Tyrion will not be seen onto the map here, especially now that he's always going to be getting zoned. But that's a lot of damage coming through from Cramgod already. Witch already wasted out onto the Feather Airstrike, but it's going to be back in less than 20 seconds, so this is definitely going to be enough right now. But Toby, though, he needs to be aware.
Mirio, oh my goodness, he went in with a double petrify. There is the Black Dragon coming in. Winter Crown for Sharon, but he falls down instantly by Toby. Killing spree for him. No retreat holder for IQ RNTX. Easy Lord coming out from the side of Zutsu Esports. They're going for the fight at this moment. They're chasing down. A lot of damage being done by Grand God. But look at the amount of shock. Mirio getting cornered, tormented by the side of Zutsu Esports. It will be Viola giving out the final blow onto him. And now they need to go back, Debbie. A blunder, a gamble, whatever you can say, Jutsu might gonna clinch this game and might gonna bring us the 5th game decider, the Heaven's Call itself in this lower bracket final. It's going interesting at this point, because at a moment we were thinking, but there is the fight coming in. Okay, the yo-yo plays, the immortality popped up, Witch waiting for the perfect zone, and there's the way to ground. Oh, item switch comes up, and he managed to survive. Oh, Netherrealm beautifully survived everything. Toby with the item change, he was better than the jungler, I will say. What a way, Lord slammed onto the inhibitor. Time for the Nexus. It got open at this moment. The Nemesis is totally open from the bot side. They're trying their best to defend this Lord, but that was the moment, Toby. First the immortality, then the Winter Crown, then the follow-up from the team with the Netherrealm. So obviously, Toby.
Amazing. He was able to find a lot of time for himself too, and the fact that I would love to say that Violet, his timing was so perfect. Even when Miro was able to get a petrify onto Toby, he was there to save him. He did not just directly use onto that nether realm. He was waiting for the damage to come through, and when Terran jumped in, that's where the target was set. He used that nether realm, and that was amazingly well done. And now that just saved the life of their main carry there. And no wonder he was onto the fleeting time too. That was what reason why they were able to get a kill and have that short cooldown as well. And now Toby, he's onto the full build. He have a lot of gold into his hands. He have a lot of ways to try to switch out onto this item time and time again. He's onto the rose gold now, but the fact that still RNTX cannot catch him with that amount of damage that they layered onto Toby alone says a lot about the game style that he has so far. He's so slippery. He have the timing to save it. Even if he was getting caught, there's always gonna be Violet behind him. He got his back, and there's always gonna be saving him. And this kind of reveals the reason why they pick away the Faram is they do not want to go for any more damage. They just want to save their carry, and it is working so well right now. And RNTX are caught in a position where they cannot really go all in onto him anymore. They have to be deciding which one should they have to focus on now, because Toby, he's not gonna be dying anytime soon. Should they catch Violet first? But then again, if they focus on Violet, they will not have any resources to focus on Toby again.
20 minutes, Debbie. Mark the time. 20 minutes of this 4th game. They got the lead in the goal. Doesn't matter. We are entering into the late game, obviously. But now it is a 20 minutes evolved Lord. You need to take it down. Abastisi was totally low. He used the AOG for the defense, and now he will not have it for the Lord time. So obviously the engage will be a little bit slower from the side of Zutsu Esports, but it may be Dark. We're going to start the initiation with his bravest fighter, but look at that, the lane pressure from the bot side. This whole minions coming in because your inhibitor is down, and Charon, he needs a retribution onto the Lord. Yet to find one Lord for himself, because all those 3 Lords goes into the pocket of Rarin, with every time being there available for the retribution, and he doesn't have any contest because of his team. But now the Violet trick him. Oh, doesn't got used the spatial migration. Bravest fighter comes in once again. Dark finds his way onto Witch, cancel out the ultimate, but from the behind, Violet falls down. Mega kill onto Sharon. It will be Toby. Black Dragon emerged, but he got a lot of damage in the airborne time. That the team goes back. They don't have the retreat holder. So do the side of Jutsu. They do have their retreat holder. They do have the retribution onto them. So they might gonna go for the Lord. But what do you think? Like, are IQ RNTX gonna hinder the Lord movement or reset it out? But before that, the yo-yo please shutdown happened. Which he couldn't do that time because of the item swap, but this time he will be doing it. Monster kill secured by the goat into the mid. And not only that, they're going for the Lord, but Bravest Fighter comes in the way. He's targeting Bitch. He's out of level of HP. Can he go for him? No, he couldn't. He goes back at the perfect time. Retribution. But can he pull it out? Cluster moment. No, right with the retreat. Mirio goes in for the Black Dragon at this point. Sliver of HP for Raden, okay, he's trying his best. Viole, he goes down there. Mirio finds the kill onto him. A Dark falls down in the hand of Aaron, the creator. Now 3-man down from the side of Jutsu. The Lord coming in. Yo-Yo Blaze blinding Curtain Coil binding 2 people. Yo-Yo Blaze coming in the way as well. Cram God, 1 shot. Those little bit damage from the... he was about to take him down, but somehow the sustain is working. Mid lane tier 1 falls down. They're going for the tier 2 at this moment. Abstizi coming into the way. He got to clear it up. The Mountain Shocker released. Toby back into the game. Feather Airstrike 4 taking out the clearance. Clearing out the minions into the way. But look at the top. Look at the bot. It is the Lord going in. You need to stop it out as well.
Yep. The fact that they don't have that much of a hero that can clear out the Lord that fast is going to be in favor for the side of Zutsu. Now they did lose out Toby because of a weird positioning he was in, but now this is still this is still in favor for the side of Zutsu here. They are still able to get the time. Look at the build though by Holy. He got the Holy Crystal already, so that is going to be a lot of damage he's going to be putting on his hands. Lightning turn plus the Holy Crystal definitely dishes out a lot of damage. He might be able to send people back to their bases if he is able to lower them enough. But then again, he won't be able to kill them, but he will be able to lower them enough, and that is definitely going to be enough when they want to go for the team fights. And Toby now this time around, he should be able to have a good positioning here, not that weird ones. We've been glazing onto the positioning so far, but one mistake is all it takes for Iron takes to go rampant onto the backline here most of the time. But then again, they weren't able to get a kill onto Raden, so that kind of is a bummer because of how tanky that edit is. But still, now Iron Techs, they are looking livelier. One shut down onto Toby was what it takes to change out their mentality here. But then again, there is a lot of minions forming into the top lane side. Only the Novara is there to clear it out. They do have the Farsa, but the Farsa can be all over the places, right? He's going to be needing to do the damage as well and clear out the minions too. So Zutsu, they are the ones still with the lead, with the control onto the Lord Pit.
At that time, at this moment, if you're taking down the Paramis, he is kind of coming out so soon as well. This resurrection timer is kind of low for him. So it's more like the Nether Realm is present every time for them.
Yeah.
And he's kind of baiting himself for those resources to take out from IQRN team's side.
Yeah.
And at this moment, the Lord once again coming in. Sharon yet to play that retribution, but there you go. Slam comes up. Vengeance popped up as well. 5-man going in, just melting down. The Winter Crown play. AOG into the hand. Abastisi comes in from the behind with a zone, but now they're going for Viole at this point. Can they find him way? Abastisi is running away to have the immortality. It will getting popped up. The special migration comes in as a slain happen onto Abastisi. It's a 4v5 situation, but Team IQRNTX are lacking the resources at this point. But Dark does have the bravest fighter. Okay, the Yo-Yo Bliss comes in. Feather Airstrike from which is bursting down right now. All the members of Jutsu. He managed to take them away from the Lord zone. And now it will be the first Lord for IQRNTX in this game. With this Lord, they might gonna do something. There might be a contest from Raden. He does have the retribution into his hand. He might gonna go for it. Dark goes in there for the intent to go in, but Sharon finds the Lord for himself. Monoshocker released. Nothing gonna happen. It will be the Lord for IQR and TX. They're gonna go with the Lord this time. And let me tell you, Debbie, 25 minutes and 40 seconds Lord. This one is a big one. You need to clear it out, otherwise you're gonna get cleared out. And you need to clear which first?
That's the thing. Witch is gonna be the one who should be onto the focus for the side of Zutsu here, but they are unable to burst it down because of the amount of times that he was available onto the map and hiding so well. But this is an evolved Lord now. Everyone is healthy for the side of Orientex. They have all their spells available. The Petrify is there. Immortality is there for Mirio too. This should be a setup. Look at that.
Oh, Thorman got into the way. Special migration violent trick to him. Graham God finds Viole there. Immortality popped up. Minds and Shocker as well. Killing spree onto the Abastisi. Double onto Dark. They're locking down the base. They will finish the game up. It is Team IQR and TX, the second finalist of Jutsu Gaming's Indian Championship Series. They managed to knock out Jutsu with a 3-1 score. They will be going into the final to face off EVT and take that revenge, which is unfinished from that MS2 during that Guwahati LAN. They just got knocked out from ABT, but now the chance is here to take the revenge, to take the Emperor, and to become the king of Zutsu Esports Indian Championship Series Season 1. What a game it was! At the last moment, Sharon went in, finds 3-member with his set, and everything goes down with Bitch playing from the backside. I mean, let me tell you, Debbie, this guy gonna carry this team, even if he will be like 5 to 6 years, how many years it will be, but this guy will be the same one who's gonna carry this team every time when the team is needing something.
Mm-hmm. Ah, amazingly well done, Toby, though. The positions were good. Everything was good for the dude here, but unfortunately, they weren't able to find that last win. Look at the highlights, though. The start, RNTX, they were able to do so much with the lineup that they have because of the presence of the Farsa and the Guinevere. That's already a good bursty combination that we have seen so far, and the rotation too. But here, Aaron got solo kill here, and then it was, at the start of a farmed up Yishun we are talking about here early game reasons in, and then he was able to have a good time too. Into the bottom lane, there was a good rotation coming through from Tarin too, and they were able to find out the fight to crack him, to stop him from joining onto those objective fights here again. Fitz doing so much for the team in this game though. He was able to have a lot of damage here, but the time Toby was able to enter onto those fights was just amazing. He was able to get a lot of kills too. Everything was looking so well and back for RNTX. But then, if you look at the team fights again, it become better for Jutsu. They got the farm onto the hands of Toby. He did not get the kills per se, but he was the one with a lot of damage too. And of course, Ryan with the perfect distribution when he's always gonna be winning it out. Amazingly well done. And the Faramis, he's just doing a lot for the team. And that damage coming through onto the other side, that was perfectly well done for both of the teams here. But then again, somehow, some way, Jutsu always have ways to, survive because of the Netherlands.
I'll say like NetherRealm was a option, but look at this.
Oh my
The
god.
mid goat undebatable. I mean, obviously, like I always say this thing, like he is one of the best mid laner I've ever seen. MVP, the unkillable approach, 608,
Wow.
74% kill participation, 5% damage taken with a 24% damage deal. And let me tell you, like this guy was playing so safe, even though zoned out a lot of times by Dark. That guy was using those wing by wings to stay
Yeah.
back to the safer side. That was a moment when he was like in a 1% HP, but he finds his way back into the safer side. And Cram God was actually zoning out Dark as well. So obviously, like with that Novaria Farsa combo, it's
Yeah.
totally worked so well this time for the side of team IQ RNTX. Their first grand finale slot in a tournament after they
Whoa.
got rebranded as IQ RNTX. So obviously,
Wow.
congratulations, Team IQ
Yeah.
RNTX, for get that spot onto the finals against EVT with a 3-1 win against the Jutsu Esports. I mean, Jutsu tried their whole best, 4 lots. You're gonna say 4 lots, and then the
Warlord.
last lot, they just got out from their hand, slipped out from their hand. It went into the hand of Sharon, and that's set up, Debbie. Like you do have your tier 2, you do have your innovator, but he doesn't fear about it. He just went in with the special migration, got 3 man into his way, and the whole set got changed. And in the end, the creator brothers, obviously Mirio the creator and the creator, both were present in that time. They just barged in there and they managed to secure the win for IQR NTX. Congratulations, Team IQR NTX, for real. You literally deserve the spot. Game number 1, a dominating finish. Game number 2, a dominating finish. Then we saw the comeback of Jutsu. Then IQR NTX back to the game, back to the track, went into the final.
Amazing, amazing, man. And this is what we have here. Amazing for the lower brackets finale too. But hey, that is not gonna be the end because we're gonna be seeing EVT, not EVT. It's gonna be Meta Ninja now, right? Versus RNTX. This is gonna be a big showdown. Maybe tomorrow. So we request you to stay tuned for that because this is gonna be one of the biggest matches that you're gonna be witnessing so far. RNTX finally into the finals, so that's gonna be a very very congratulatory moment for them too. So good night for now, and we will be seeing you into the grand finals.